Hey everyone, just apologies on the intro of the show. I had accidentally forgotten to hit record when we started our little podcast segment. So, just letting you know that it is a little bit of a rough introduction, but we do get straight into chatting about what we're playing. Otherwise, enjoy the show.
I just want to keep playing, and I could easily play for hours on end. So I'm really enjoying Mass Effect, loving the story. I'm loving piecing together things from just casual conversations, having the council pop up because we reported it, and the council was shitty at me because we destroyed the mine where some of the Prothean stuff is. And I'm like, fuck you. I don't trust you. I'm really holding my reservations. I don't think they're a good group of people. I just get the inkling on the back of my neck. I'm like, I just don't trust. There's just something there. So I'm having fun. I love it. BioWare just at their peak. So I played that on Wednesday. But I'm sure you would like to hear what I streamed yesterday for 4 hours.
What did you play?
So I streamed Mouse P.I for hire.
Nice.
And I can tell you, I could have streamed for another 12.
That good.
I love it. This game is just straight to the point. It's a game through and through. I left a review on the Steam website, Steam page for the game. Highly recommend. The art style is just stunning. You thought Cuphead was good? This just is so good.
Okay.
It feels like I'm watching an
old school.
a rubber hose cartoon. Like, it's just so true in form. It is so good. And because it's set in the 1930s, it's got that, and this doll came up to me and she was trouble before she even spoke. And I was like, oh, yes, I love this.
They fully commit to the bit.
Absolutely. Through and through.
Yeah, nice.
My main takeaway is that the music is some of the best I've heard since Claire Obscure.
Wow.
This music is incredible.
Okay.
It is jazzy. It is so... You can feel that it's black and white. It is lovely. And the sound cues, so when you're swimming in the water and it's your oxygen starts to shrink, the music just picks up like, hey, the oxygen's starting to run out. I love it. When you get into combat, it's fun, it's kinetic. It reminds me of BioShock mixed with Doom Remake, mixed with some Sly Cooper. It's just so good. The boss fights are charming. The conversations with the NPCs are just wonderful. There's a cheekiness to the conversations. Someone makes a bit of a crude kind of advertisement for the upgrade store, and it's called Bang, and it's like, do you want to last hard and long? And you as a character is like, how could you put that up? And she's like, what? It's called Bang. And she has to explain to you, who's thinking dirty about it, that no, Bang stands for this, 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 and this. And he's like, oh, okay, maybe I can get on board with it. So it's really cool. And the upgrades are fun. Like, I unlocked an ability at the end of my stream where I've got a tailspin. So now I can glide. And now I'm introduced to more of a verticality sense, so I can go further distances. I can fly and shoot, so I can get some air. I can double jump. The weapons are so much fun, and the way that they're used on the enemies are just so creative. So one gun I have, so you start off with a pistol, basic gun. It does the job. but depending on where you shoot is where the animations will really shine. So if you shoot an enemy in the stomach and they die and their last shot was their stomach, they get a hole in the stomach.
Oh,
You shoot
sick.
their heads disappear.
Yep.
I haven't really aimed for anywhere else because they have really funny commentary when they die.
Yep.
You get a gun that shoots like an acid ball, and it has automatically become my all-time favorite gun because it wipes enemies out
Yeah,
really well.
I've seen the video footage when they did the first, I think it was like a 20-minute preview on IGN, and I'd seen what it does, and you just watch the animation of them just turn into like bones, and it's like dust with
Yes.
the two eyes just kind of staring at you sad. I'm like, that is so fucking cool. It's so like Warner Brothers and Disney infused. I love it.
It is so
Yeah.
incredible. Like when you burn an enemy, they turn into crisp and you see their eyes as well.
Yeah.
The conversations you have to get different quests in are just, they're all interconnected. And I get that some people are quite disappointed that you're not manually solving the puzzles by putting them on the corkboard or anything. Fuck it. Why? This game isn't that.
I
This
never
game is a
yeah.
movie. Like you're just controlling the character through the levels. Other than that, he's conversing with the mayor or a man who is going for mayoral, so he's a candidate. And just putting the investigative pieces, the clues, the evidence on the corkboard. He has little conversation drops throughout, and he's like, this is interesting. Where could it lead? And you put another one, and he's like, okay, we're getting closer. So it's just the conversations, and it's just so nice. The game, I highly recommend. In Australia, it's $44. It is absolutely worth full price. It is a wonderfully made game. It is as charming as can be. It's one of those indie games that will stand the test of time. It is so much fun. The mystery. So I've got a couple of investigations that are going.
Okay.
And
yeah, because you've got like
now,
little side quests so that you've also got interspersed with the main moment-to-moment story, don't you?
You think that?
Really?
So I've got two.
Okay.
And my first one was a murder mystery and trying to figure out who killed this woman. And then the mayor candidate was talking to me, and then I was discovering human or mice trafficking.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. Once I finished them both, they kind of linked together. And I was like, oh shit, there's like a much bigger story that's happening within this world that's kind of connecting the pieces in a way that feels close.
Yep.
So I imagine there's going to be some overarching part of the mystery that links to all of it in the end.
Yep.
And it feels like a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah.
I'm going to use The Big O. It's an anime that was set in the 90s. I recently finished watching it, and it reminds me so much of that style of storytelling where each episode is its own story mystery, but there is an overarching kind of connection as to everything. So what happened in episode 3 gets continued in episode 15, and then again it will be like the main arc for the next couple of episodes, and then not touched upon until the end arc where everything comes together.
Okay.
It's so much fun, and the storytelling is it really is an ode to the old school cartoons. It's cheesy without being a pun. It's really fun. For my 4 hours that I've played, I could have easily played more. Easily. It's yeah. I can't recommend it enough. I
It sounds like
messaged
you're
my
really
friend.
enjoying it.
Oh, yeah, easily. It's so nice to have a game like this come out that's not priced at such a high premium pricing as well.
Yeah.
It is, I think that also had an influence as to my enjoyment because I'm not paying $60 to $80 for this, where I think it would be far too steep. But $44, oh, I can't fault it. It really is. And I haven't even started talking about the fucking settings of the game.
When you say the settings, like the different locations that you're going to.
No, I'm talking about the accessibility settings.
Oh, right. Just a quick one. Crabmaster basically said people have addressed it before and it's been proven time and time again. Personality and style will always do realism in video games. We want pizzazz, not individual hair follicles. Most of the time, I would agree. Yeah, I think there are times when people appreciate the high level fidelity, but you need to justify it. I think at the end of the day, if you can justify it and back it up with proper gameplay so that it's fun and it looks, schmick, that's fine. Go the extra mile. But
I will say, to add to that point, this is where Jake and I kind of differ, where Jake really appreciates the more realism of the PlayStation games. And 100%, they are
within reason.
Stunning. Yes, of course. Where I'm more attracted to a game that has the creativity style where they commit to an art style rather than realism, because I've said this as a point. I can look outside and it's real. I don't want to play a game that replicates that. That's not why I want to play a video game. I would love for Sly Cooper to be re-released for me just to have an excuse to replay it, because that art style is stunning. But Clair Obscur is a really good example of a mix of an art style that mixes realism with an art style of art, essentially. Not painted.
It is painted.
In so many levels, it's painted. But it's that style of, there you can tell that it's a human. It's got that realism look of Mayal, Lune, and the family. You've got that sense of, okay, these are based on real people. But once you start exploring the world, you see that art style really set in, and you go, wow, this is just so detached from being that realism look. And it's rare for games to, especially in today's era, to have such a standout. Hey, I knew you wanted to go. 2 seconds. Leo wanted to be in the office with me, and I'm like, okay, we'll see how long that lasts.
Silly dog. No, so I think the one example I always use as a game that I think went too far in the graphical side of things was Hellblade 2, where you could tell that they spent more time really honing in on making every aspect of the characters and the world feel as lifelike as possible, which was very pretty and a showcase of graphical fidelity. But there was just no game to it. And it's
a tech demo.
Yeah, well, it becomes that, unfortunately. Like, it's not to say that there wasn't a game. It's so bare bones that you just go, but what am I actually playing this for? I get there's a story here. This is fun. This is exciting. But how could this... Why does this stand out from me just watching a movie? It really doesn't. And that's where, like, there's this fine line where you're making a game to be a game. I remember having these debates with Kara where, I mean, you've got a perfect example with your Quantic Dream games or a lot of adventure games where, for the most part, your play is you're watching a movie, but you're interacting with it. But to be fair, you're at least making decisions that are then veering off and determining what aspect of the movie, like, game you're actually experiencing. So there's a bit of choice there. And then, depending on how well it's made, in the instance of Heavy Rain and Detroit Become Human, you've actually got some detective work which determines how successful you are and how likely you are at getting a specific outcome or a specific story thread play out. So that stuff works for me. But there is
really
that
liked
fine...
how Until Dawn went as well.
That's
where
another
it
perfect
was-
example. Yes.
Yeah,
you have control over the likelihood of characters' deaths.
But it's a movie, and it's
Yep.
an interactive movie where this does make sense.
Yep.
I feel so when I did my degree at uni, we learned that you always have to sacrifice one of the three things in storytelling in
Yep.
a game. It's
Yep.
either narrative, art style, or gameplay.
Yep.
You always have to make a sacrifice. And with that knowledge, I look at games and go, okay, I can see what you've sacrificed here because you want to showcase the art style and story over a game.
Yep.
And that's what I get from Until Dawn or Heavy Rain, where it is very much, no, this is just an interactive movie where you will have your input at these designated times and have a choose your own adventure.
Yep.
Not to say it's bad.
No,
it's
but
great because you get that creativity in a different style.
The interesting thing is it gives you, as a player, and this is the important distinguishing difference, it gives you far more I had the word in my head.
Sorry.
Fucking hell. No, you're right. Urgency. It gives you far more urgency from moment to moment. Agency. Thank you, not urgency. Agency. As you play through those moments, as opposed to Heavy Rain. Sorry, not Heavy Rain. Hellblade 2, Senua's Saga, where it feels like, yeah, okay, I'm going through these as a tick box, but why do I really need to be doing any of this? Other than, you're just trying to make it feel like I'm engaged in this, but there's actually no real substance. There's no real depth to this. It looks very pretty, but I don't actually feel like I'm engaged. I don't feel like there's an agency to what I'm actually doing. Which, yeah. Games are fun.
It's when the art. So I really love a game that has a real standout art style. And honestly, this game just through and through, there's just at no point does Mouse P.I. for Hire ever stride from anything other than what it's achieving. And once you play it, I think you'll understand. It's just, it commits to the bit and it fucking nails it. It is so much fun. I'm so glad that the Steamboat Willie is now public domain.
Yeah, I know.
Because we wouldn't have this game. It would have been a very different game.
Think how much more we will get over time as a lot of those licenses just become free reign to play with.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
reason.
We've got Winnie the Pooh, which we've had horror movies come out. Pinocchio also is in public domain. There's a lot of stories that are, and hence why there's a lot of remakes from Disney so that they can keep in capturing that sense of, I mean, I don't particularly like their live action. And
I
that's
don't
another
think anyone
point.
does. Yeah.
The only live action that I really appreciated from Disney was Cruella. I love that movie. That is one of my all-time favorite recent live action Disney films that I could watch again and again. Emma Stone fucking nails Cruella perfectly.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I
It
gotta admit, that was a very clever and a cool interpretation of the character.
Yeah, for an origin story. And yeah, I love it. Maleficent is also another one that I really enjoyed, but I really like Angelina Jolie playing that evil kind of character that, yeah, we'll put a little twist on it. I just appreciate her as an actress. I think she's great. But that's another thing with me, and I've said this in previous streams. I like animation over live action
Yes.
because
Yes.
live action removes a lot of that sense of realism of, oh, okay. I mean, Marvel's done a good job with it in the past, not so much presently because of their whole use of AI and making things more pumped out. So you're getting less quality. But when a live action interpretation of something exists, when there's already an animation aspect of it, I will always be attracted more to the animation style. For me, I'm going to use One Piece as an example. Even though I do have some credit to give to the live action, the animation of the anime, it makes sense to have a character just flying and just standing there or having a dragon. It just, yeah. But as soon as you detract that from animation and make it real, then you're like, oh, but I know that a human who can stretch isn't going to be able to fly. It just, maybe it's just how my brain works
Yeah.
in the sense of, well, I
It's
know
hard for
dragons
you.
don't exist.
Yeah,
So it
your
makes sense in a fantasy.
your suspension of disbelief doesn't allow you to kind of dwell into that realm. So yeah, I completely
Yeah.
understand. And
But
maybe
then
it's a
you've
simple
got
case of they
movies
just
like
haven't.
The
Yeah.
Dark Crystal.
Yep.
That practical using puppets. I love that. That movie was incredible when you showed it to me, and I was
Oh,
like,
God.
"Oh, this is great."
Watching that
Give
movie
me
with you for the
more.
first time as an adult and having a sense of, oh my God, what am I watching here? This is fucking amazing. Why didn't I watch this as a kid? I don't,
Pure
it's,
magic.
oh, dude, it is not often that I watch something that old and I go, this is just pure fantasy on such a, like, on an organic level that I don't feel like I get much because Hollywood needs to like modernize everything and add some sort of, oh, it needs to feel like this other movie or this other franchise that people have clinged onto, and it just gets really muddly as opposed to just make it within the confines and the context of what you're designing. Like, what's the world? What are you building? Who are the characters? What are their politics? What are the rules within their world? And if you want to pull little things in and out from our stuff, make it relatable into their world, that's fine. But don't just go, oh, you know that like big event that happened? We're going to put that in here and like shove it in when it doesn't actually make sense. It's like, fuck off. Yeah, I'll talk about one of the games I'm playing that I think does that stuff really well. Very similar to what you're playing here with Mouse P.I. Practical effects really are a lost treasure to the film industry. Yes, yeah, it is. When you hear about people having to, so what was it? I was watching Corridor Crew, and they were talking about the fact there was this new movie that got made by a couple of indie guys. They got together. They wanted to make one of those movies where there's a character that's bigger than everyone. So it's kind of like Honey, I Blew Up the Kids or Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And they did a similar film, but because a lot of that camera work and all that knowledge is really lost knowledge, no one really does it that way. They're usually just doing it through CGI. So these guys were trying to make it practical. So they're having to learn and play around with the lenses and figure out how do we, use the lens and how do we use forced perspective with a camera in order to get the effect that we want. And they pulled it off flawlessly. But, that's stuff that they had to figure out on their own, as opposed to, well, that knowledge is passed down to a new generation who's playing with that, because Hollywood just kind of goes, well, if we don't need to worry about miniatures or bigatures anymore, we're just not going to worry about it. And so all of a sudden, no one's doing that stuff. So it is sad. It's sad because I think there's a lot of movies, older ones, that you look and you watch and you go, there's just something better about it. That could be nostalgia. There are times when CGI does a wonderful job, but then there are times where I just feel like, you know what? If you just put in the extra effort, I know it's a lot of pre-production planning, but if you put in the effort, you get the right people on the day and pre-plan it correctly and don't be fucking lazy, then you can pull it off, and then you don't need to worry about reference material or the CGI team after spending fucking 6 to 12 months getting something maybe close to semi what you actually wanted. But anyway.
Yeah. But the accessibility settings in Mouse P.I. So before I streamed the game, so I bought it in the morning before I went to work, installed it. I got home and I was like, all right, I need to get ready for the stream tonight. So let me turn on the game, make sure all the sound settings are working and everything. Wow. I went into the settings. What style visual do you want? Do you want film grain? Do you want it to feel like it's
see this, yes,
from a film camera? Or, do you want the music to sound like it's on vinyl? Do you want it to sound like it's on a different type of vinyl? There's 3 types of vinyls you can choose the music to sound like, so it can replicate it. And
with that crackly sound, or if you just want it to be clean. Yeah.
And
I've heard about this.
I was just going through them, and I'm like, yeah, this is it. This is what I expect to be the norm. This is the attention to detail of a game that just absolutely I find it really hard to criticize this game because it just does everything so right.
Yep.
And it doesn't tack on anything. I've seen the reviews that some people would have liked a bit more, less handholdy. I'm playing it and I'm like, this takes me back to playing a game on the PlayStation 2 or 3, where it was just a video game and you did missions with just today's modernization of it.
Some people just can't be happy for something fun and entertaining, can they?
But I truly, truly highly suggest to people, play this game.
Give it a go.
It really is fun. You've got 2 hours of gameplay before you can then get a refund from Steam. Try it. You'll get your money back. If that 2 hours doesn't capture you, that will give you enough time to do at least 2 to 3 missions. If that doesn't give you enough of a sense of the game, refund it.
Yeah.
But this game is just so much fun. It really is just, love. It really is just such a beautiful game, and I'm so proud.
Absolutely.
Because my friend had to go into the studio on Thursday night. So he got there at 9:30 and he messaged me and he's like, I just got home, and that was Friday about 5 o'clock. And I was like, holy shit. He's like, yeah, I've been there the whole night trying to make sure everything's okay. And I'm like, It was worth it. You guys nailed it.
Yeah.
This is so good. And he messaged me today and he's like, so how was the stream last night? I'm like, I love the game. And I sent him a screenshot of the review I left. I'm like, dude, this is incredible.
Something special.
It's so much fun. Yeah, it is a really, and I'm going to drive this home. This game is fun.
Mm-hmm.
If you want a fun game, this is it. You don't have to be good at it. There's difficulty settings if you really want an easier game. I've got it on medium because I just want to play and have fun.
Yep.
You can set it to really difficult if you want to be a masochist. Go for it. And the options are there for you. Like this game gives you the flexibility of playing the game as you want it. And I will warn you, explore. Please, for the love of God, explore. Because there are secret areas in this game that once you find them, you're like, oh, this is cool. This is worth it. The card game, I didn't even get into the mini game. There's a mini game in this, and it's cards. It's baseball cards. So you have 5 rounds to 5 turns, 2 rounds.
Yep.
You start off as a batter, and you want to get your cards around the base. So you've got cards that are worth 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I haven't found anything higher than 9. You've got boost cards that either help your batter get a +1 in batting. So if you feel your opponent is going to drop a oh my god, what's a batter and a pitcher card that is 9 with a +1 in pitching, then you want to play a card that is a 9 with a pitching plus, but you don't know. It's all face down. So it's all RNG. Good luck. It's really fun. I want to collect more cards so that I can keep playing it.
Okay.
And if you have a total higher for your batter than the pitcher, then you will then move a space to a base. You also have a card that gives you an extra movement. So when you do beat the enemy or the NPC, you can then do an extra home, not a home run, an extra home base. If you beat them by 4 or more, you get an automatic home run and you get a score. So it's baseball, but cards.
Yep.
And it's a real nice ode to that time because that's what you collected back in the 1930s. It was baseball cards. And it's so much fun. And then once you play as the pitcher, you've then got to make sure that your pitcher is able to pitch high enough than the batter. And if someone's on a base, then you can play a boost card so that you can keep a keen eye so then you can get that batter out. It's really fun. It's so simple and so enjoyable to play. I give this game, I hate giving numeric scores, but I give this game a high recommendation for people to play. I just recommend it. Play it. But anyways, that's me done with talking. What have you been playing?
So, still going through Crimson Desert. That's just going to be a stock standard. This week, I got to experience a bit more of the puzzle elements. So, one of the main missions... Did you see?
Because this was the 4th episode.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. So I saw you fixing a couple of the kilns. And grabbing things, the electricity, which I kept laughing at you about. I was like, oh, Jake. Silly bean.
So yes, there were the kilns that I had to fix, and there were 3 of them, and each were different. So one was you had to get the electricity balls that I had to find. locate them, move them to the actual kilns, pop them into the little ball, and just watch them eventually make their way inside. One of the other
Yep.
ones was you had 3 pieces of the kiln that you had to put together, and you had like 5 pieces on the floor, so you had to find the right ones and like match them. There was another one where you had like these symbols that you had to match in line. That was nice and simple. And then I think there was another one that was even simpler than that. So that was all fine and dandy. And then the game kind of has you having to traverse once you do the because I had done the part of the game where you do like the little mini games. So there's a mini game where you've got combat, like melee combat. There's a mini game for archery. There's a mini game for if you just want to do spear. Like there's actual spear tournaments, which I thought was cool. So I had done.
So funny when you did the archery. I was like, "Oh, please tell me you cheesed it," and you didn't, and you did it legitimately. And I was like,
No,
"God damn!"
I've seen the cheese. I've seen the fact that people can get. So what StreetRat's talking about? You can apparently now that I've got the item. So there's on the quest that I did in chapter 4, you get this like a container, and you can essentially grab any large items and shove them into this container. And then you can pull them out whenever you need them for anything. So there's like a cheese that I saw recently where someone had gotten one of these massive fire kilns, thrown it on the ground, jumped on it, gone into his inventory before he's completely burnt himself to death, and just thrown every single bit of meat that he had. And eventually all that meat just crispified and it cooked. And he just grabbed all the meat, just collected it. I'm like, that's Zelda level of cool. How is this game not praised more by certain people? Fucking hell. So
you can also use your sword light to cook them.
Yeah, there was stuff like that. But someone apparently,
it is Zelda-like.
So someone had apparently found a cheese where if you collect the specific like hovering type totems, you can pop them on top of where the actual boards are supposed to fling up, and they just get destroyed automatically. So you get the kill. And I thought, that's very weird that that's not being looked at, but okay. Maybe at some stage they'll patch it. But no, like I had done it properly.
Funny. The cheese that I saw was someone got a carriage, parked it in front of your opponent, so that when you start, he's just hitting the carriage, but you have time to hit all the targets.
And I'll be honest, the quickness of which the NPC reacts is ridiculous.
Insane.
It's like you the target pops up and they're already shooting. So you need to be right smack bang on that target or pretty close. And I'm playing with an analog. I'm not playing with a keyboard and mouse. So anyone with a keyboard and mouse, they're going to be able to react like it's a fucking shooter, like they're playing Counter-Strike. On a controller, you're like reliant on how accurate do I think I am at just pressing the analog quick enough and long enough to get to that target where I can then just let go. Because again, the shooting doesn't work as fluently as stock standard other kind of action games of this nature, where you've got like the look and then the shoot. So it's a bit weird in that sense. But essentially, I'd done a bunch of these random, like these normal story quests, which were then supposed to be the tutorials for all of these mini games that I had already done. So I was like, okay, well, we're going back here. Let's learn how to do this. Let's learn how about archery. Let's learn about melee combat, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Cool. Can we move on? Awesome. Do that. Go into town because I'm being told just go into town and see if you can help some people out. Someone just bangs into me, gives me a note and says, go speak to this person, get a specific, like a scholar's outfit, and then go up into the mountains and go speak to the scholars up there because they need your help. All right, do all of that, go up into the mountains, help them out with a guy that's gotten a little bit cocky with some experiment that he then gets sucked into the void, into the abyss, which I followed him and find that there's a guy in there that's pushed me back out.
So yes.
Yeah. Now, I then am supposed to just go back into town, and that's kind of where Act 4 finishes. And now I'm on to the next chapter, the next act. All fine and dandy. But I decided, you know what? I want to go back up there, see if there's anything that I missed. And I'm so grateful that I did, because of course, when I went back up there and started following the path behind where the guy was, it then continued down this whole path of puzzle after puzzle after puzzle after puzzle, and all different puzzles. All very unique and weird, all up above the clouds, where I'm going through, I'm taking like this elevator thing I'm then having to go down this shaft, and there's a treasure chest that I can see, but I had to wait for the actual elevator to take me back up so I could fly behind it, because there was a wall, an invisible barrier that was blocking me. So I had to go from behind to get the chest and get the item that way. Then go down, do this other puzzle where I had to align these fucking lasers in the right direction. And that unlocked something else. And then I went through like this other chamber with other moving lasers that I had to avoid, into another room that I had to then get an ability. And thankfully, someone on stream helped me out. And he's like, all right, you're missing one ability. If you upgrade your character, you'll be able to unlock. It's like a multi-shot where you can aim at multiple targets, kind of like Splinter Cell Conviction. And then you release the trigger and you shoot the 3 or 4 targets. So I had to do that in this big little treasury room, because there were all these lasers, and there were 4 buttons that I essentially had to shoot at the same time in order to turn off all the lasers so I could get to the treasure chest in the middle.
Because they were going fast.
Yeah. And I would have left it there, right? I would have completely just gone, yep, I guess I'm at the end of it. Except I looked at my challenge map thing and it said, no, there's more. And I'm like, what? Gone down. Oh, there's a whole nother chamber here, and that leads to another section, and that takes you somewhere else, which takes you into a completely different space. And now I'm in this next puzzle element that I have to solve this little sequence in order to continue. And I'm like, so you're telling me I could have just been here for the next couple of hours just doing this one after another, and then go back, and it looks like it's just in this region. This is what's fucked, because I feel like I'm just doing this specific puzzle in this region, and then there's probably another or multiple of these in other regions. So there's no lack of content whatsoever. No. So been playing that. That's been fun.
Nice.
The other main one that I will talk about is Replaced. So I started playing this on my Steam Deck, which for the most part plays really fucking well. I'll just pop it up. I will start with the kind of story and the world building.
Yep.
This game, from a story perspective, is really remarkable. So it's an alternative 1965 setting. Obviously, it's pixel art, so it is a 2D platformer in that sense, but there are moments where you kind of go and move into the foreground or the background. A large part of the game is these kind of combat sequences, which are very much like your kind of like a Batman game. But essentially, from a story perspective, alternative 1965 or 1970s era, you had an atomic bomb that happened in the 1945. So instead of Hiroshima being bombed, America got bombed. And essentially, America went into this whole atomic crisis. They were obviously trying to clean things up. And as you go through the story, what you start to uncover are some of the historical components, and what led to the events in this game. Because the story itself takes place, you start off as essentially a guy named Warren, I think his name is, who is working on this AI. He's been trying to like hone in. He's working for this, massive science lab in this for a company called Phoenix. And essentially, he's been working on this AI through like his little fucking goggles that he's connected into. And the AI that's called what is its fucking name? I've actually forgotten what he calls it. Reach, yeah. So the actual AI minus, yeah. Not quite Fallout-esque. I wouldn't say it's on that level. Essentially, Reach the AI is trying to warn Warren, hey, you've been in here for too long. I need to shut this down because it'll overload your brain. Like, you're mentally tired. He doesn't. The whole system fucking breaks, and somehow Reach the AI ends up in Warren's body. So now Reach is in this body of his master going, well, fuck, I need to get myself out and help Warren. So I need to get to the source. So he's now on a mission to get into the city, which is surrounded by a wall. You don't know why specifically. You kind of uncover that as you play. But he needs to. So he's in the outskirts in the science lab, and he's now making his way out. And as he's then started his journey, he goes for the law enforcement because he's like, well, the police should be able to help me. No, they try to shoot him down and chase him down and kill him. So he's like, okay, well, fuck, I'm fending for my life. And then you start going further into the game and exploring it, and you find that, all right, you've got this clan called the Termites who live in the outskirts, who are kind of like the radioactive humans that are a bit crazy and loopy and have gone nuts. And then you've got the humans that live outside the actual barricade of the wall who don't have any of the quality of life and just kind of scrounge around and find whatever they can. And you've got a guy that you're helping named Tempest that you meet that helps you, saves you from the actual termites, who is wanting to fight back against the corporation. So what you start to uncover in the world is that you essentially had this company / organization, a group, who named themselves Phoenix for, the kind of rise like a bird, who basically took over power over the government. And there's like references to Kennedy in this, where Kennedy was basically trying to warn people, hey, these guys are not going to be your friends. The ideas and the things that they're putting forth to you, though it sounds great in theory, are not going to benefit. So what you start to uncover through little dossiers and what the things you read, as well as some memory lapses that Reach is having, because he's obviously starting to get some flashbacks and some memories from Warren himself. You start to uncover the kind of machinations of Phoenix in this time frame. So they've gone in, they've tried to assist people, they've tried to obviously create all these different little corporations and organizations to help recover and rebuild America and try and help people. But in turn, what they've done is they've somehow created what I believe is a city that has all the rich and wealthy people within it. And they have a kind of healthcare system that if someone needs, a body part, a heart transplant, any of this, they will basically go and find someone who's the right candidate, offer them money for it. If they don't take the money, then they will have hitmen that will come and take that body part from you and forcefully. So you start to learn that a lot of the people outside of the town are some of these human beings that have actually had, like, there's a lady there that's had her throat taken out. She used to be a singer. She had a person come to her, knocking on her door saying, we'd like your throat. Here's some money. She said no. So basically they took it forcefully from her. So she's got like this, in the game, when Reach is talking to her, it's like, why do you sound so robotic? So she explains the story, and she's got like one of those voice modules that she's using, and they don't have like free batteries lying around. So she's being told, don't overuse the battery because there's not many lying. So it's very kind of, it's very much that dystopian kind of future. It's almost Blade Runner-esque, but in a more older school style, because a lot of the computers, or like the little PDT that you have that collects information is very analog based. So, and it's really cool. Like the sound effects that he uses when you're scrolling through the information, it's got like that. I can't explain it. It's like you're using a physical scroller on like a mouse. It's got that,
That's
kind of.
cool.
It's really neat. So all the sounds, the artwork is beautiful. I gotta admit, the way they present the pixel art, it's very atmospheric. It's a very set piece kind of setting the stage, the locations. You do get to go through some of the towns, so you've got moments where the game kind of takes a breather, where you have sequences that are just very linear. You're going from A to B to C to D with puzzles in between. And then you've got moments where you'll be in this town, you're kind of helping, doing some side quests, which either help enhance the recharge rate of the gun that you've got, or increase your health, or increase your stim packs, your ability to heal, essentially. And then they've got there's a character in there that she's fixing these arcade games. So you've got like a Frogger game and some other game that's mixed in with a fucking operation type thing. And your whole objective with her is play the arcade game, beat her high score so that she can give you the item. So it's really cute. It's really fun. The issue I have is the game itself.
Oh.
Yeah.
What is it about the game?
So it doesn't feel fun to play. I mean, we've talked about this where sometimes studios like to over-animate stuff. Now, in most cases, Crimson Desert, Red Dead Redemption, Ico, Shadow of Colossus, I don't have any issues with it. There is something kinetic and fun where I feel like when I'm pressing a button, I feel like I'm actually doing the jump or I'm doing the action. There is something...
Shadow of the Colossus is such a stunning game.
Beautiful game. Beautiful game.
It is just a game that everyone needs to experience. Sorry, just a side tangent. I remember I got the demo for Shadow of the Colossus, and it's only the first boss.
Yep.
But the amount of time I fucked around just riding aggro around before fighting, that game is incredible.
That game is, I think, the best example of scale that I've seen. Personally, so it's hard to replicate that.
Just chef's kiss.
But anyway, so it's just not a fun game to play. I've had so many moments. So like, we'll go into combat. Combat, for the most part, is you've got your attack button, you've got your counter button, you have a dodge button, and later on you've got a heavy attack button. The delay and the weightiness doesn't feel responsive enough for what you want. There are times where, like, for instance, when you gain the ability to... So you have guys with shields, or you've got some of the bigger brutes that sometimes have, like, shield plates on them. So in order to do damage, you actually need to break the shield. You can't just... It's not like Batman where you jump over them and you do, like, some weird kind of flippy type thing to take the shield off. No, you actually have to break it. And so there's this whole long-ass animation where when you press the heavy attack button, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, slam for him to cut through. Now, the problem with the game is sometimes, regardless of where the enemy is, he will track and move towards him like Batman. Other times, he does not. So it's inconsistent. It's the same with other different abilities that you have where there's just this inconsistency with what you're doing versus what the enemies are doing. So, like, you have guys with guns, and most of the time, if you dodge too early, because they'll point at you, they'll have a white line. If you dodge too early, by the time you go out of your roll animation, you get shot. So that's fine. Okay, I learned that I gotta wait for it to turn red. Now I dodge. So I dodge the bullet. No, there are times where I've done that. I've waited, and it doesn't even turn, like, it's just bang, shot. And so I don't even have a moment to react. It gets really infuriating when you're then getting into the platforming section. So the combat is stiff as it is and almost feels like, well, I feel like I'm having to fucking move a truck half the time when I'm doing the combat, and sometimes it's not being responsive. But when you get into the platforming, that's when certain shit really fucking falls apart. The amount of times I have died because of the fact that the character isn't animating correctly, or I'm not pressing the jump at the specific time for him to do the animation that's required for him to do the extended jump in order to reach something. Because for some reason it's picked it up on the edge as opposed to a little further. And the fact that the game doesn't actually have a run button, but allows you to run in very specific moments, frustrates the fuck out of me. So the most of the time when you're exploring the world, you're just doing this light jog. And you want to be able to run, but you can't. He only runs in very specific action set piece moments. Which is annoying, right? When you're doing climbing around, and there's like, you have with the little hammer thing or the pickaxe, which is what you use to break the shields, there are areas in platforming where it'll be like, you'll have the little yellow rail, and then you have like a broken wall that you need to jump and then press the action button as you're passing it. There's this weird timing where and a cadence that if you don't get it, it's not like it's, all right, I jump past it and then I press it. No, it's almost like you got to wait at the right time to press it, because you press it too early or too late and he just misses. It's just, he goes past it. Climbing sometimes, like whether it's D-pad or analog, sometimes you might press the down button and he's just reacting in a weird, like delayed kind of quick way. It's just, I know I feel like I'm contradicting myself. It's just not a smooth experience from a platforming standpoint. I'll use Uncharted as a great example, where with Uncharted, it's easy enough when you're jumping up on walls to just be like, all right, I just need to jump up. I just keep pressing the jump button and he will just naturally and organically kind of climb. I'll climb left, I'll climb right, whatever it may be. Here, I'm trying to tell him to do that, and sometimes he's not even reacting, or he's not actually moving in the direction you need him to go. Or you're trying to tell him to go in one direction, and instead he goes up into like a little vent that's got heat, so it pushes you or burns you. There was one sequence I was playing the other night that I swear I had done like 20 times, and it was a long sequence where you had to kind of climb around perfectly, avoiding these heat vents, and you'd see the animation of the vent finishing, but because it's not like completely gone, you go too close, you fall off, you die. So like you're hearing the sound go and then it stops and you can see it fizzling out. Normally in most games you'd be able to start kind of traversing so you can quickly get through, say, 2 vents to get up to a section to then continue climbing. No, you gotta wait for the dust to completely settle before you move, because if you go a little bit too early, you misjudge it, you get burnt, start again. Start that whole platforming sequence again. It's like, for fuck's sake. And because of, again, the stiffness of the character and how he moves and how slow he reacts, and it's like, can I get you to just go? Yeah, it's, for me, I just find it to be too stiff. I feel like it was an issue that I had when the game first came out, and it feels like it's the same, but playing it more, I realized just how shit it is. I'm enjoying the atmosphere. I'm enjoying the story. I'm enjoying the journey. I love the characters. I love the world building. I am sold on all of that. But I just can't get my head around the gameplay where I just go, this is not fun to play, guys. It's not a game. Like, when I finish this, I will put it to bed and I will never want to play it again. I might watch someone play through it if I really want to experience the story. But unless there's some revolutionary great storytelling within this game, I'm never going to touch it again, because it just feels shit to play.
Damn.
And it's unfortunate because it's like little things that you could have just made a little bit more snappier, and I think it would have been a better game for it. But no, you had to make it this really delayed system, and it just feels crap. Feels awful. Enjoy, Crabmaster. Thanks for jumping on.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
really interesting.
I was
because
so
the
disappointed.
game trailer doesn't showcase that at all. It's
No.
a very,
No.
scripted. So of course
Yep.
they're going to showcase it without you feeling the game. Did you play the demo by any chance?
I did. Yeah, I did. And that was the thing.
Did you still have that?
So
feeling
I had
with the
this was the
combat?
thing. There was a stiffness to the combat that I had felt, yes. But when you start getting into some of the other mechanics where, okay, you'll have... and this really becomes an issue when you start getting further into the game where they go, all right, we're going to throw standard melee guys. We're going to throw guys that are shooting at you. We're going to throw the big brawly dudes. We're going to throw these fucking ninja bitches that you can't hit. And they're all like doing their various different attacks and various different things. And if you don't have the cadence, the very slow cadence down, you can't just, you can't button mash, which is fine. But it's not like it has a responsiveness where I'm attacking someone. Oh, I see there's an attack coming. I should roll. No, because I'm currently stuck in another animation, or it hasn't picked up the fact that I want him to roll. And so now I get dicked. Or I see that there's a guy about to shoot me, and I wait for the right animation. No, I get shot. All right, fine. Well, I do the roll so that I miss it. And if I've timed it right, I should not get hit by the gunshot. But a lot of the times, I do. So I eat it. And it's like, for fuck's sake, guys, this should be responsive. Did you not play Batman? Did you not play Spider-Man? I know that you want to have this weightiness to it. But even... fucking Mad Max did it better. And that's the part that I don't understand. I understand you want to go for a crunchy feel, and I get the crunchy sensation when I'm hitting enemies. But pulling off those movements, it's not a responsive enough system. And I feel like it should be for how the enemies play with you. So it's... yeah, it is lacking a lot. And then you've got the pistol, which is a cool little addition, because the more attacks you do, you charge up the pistol, so then you can throw a shot at one of them, which is essentially like an instant kill for the most part. But yeah, it's lacking a bit from that perspective. The puzzles are, basic puzzles. There's nothing overly complicated with them. There is one puzzle that I encountered that I just looked up a guide, and it was an optional thing where I just couldn't figure out what the game wanted as far as the answer or the code that it needed. But for the most part, everything's pretty stock standard. It's easy to read. It's easy to register what you need to do and how you need to move things along or do certain actions. But yeah, just to play it, it's not... I wouldn't call it a really fun platformer.
Do you feel that it's something that that it could be improved upon with with patching the game?
Look, I reckon they could. It's just whether they choose to, and whether it affects the animation timing of the character. That's what I don't know. That's the problem. Because if everything that they design from a gameplay standpoint is linked to those animations, that might be a problem from a feeling perspective. Whereas for me, I kind of go, well, you want it to still serve the player who's playing it. And I'm okay with having a slower moving character, but I also want to know that if I'm pressing a button, or the actions that are being presented to me. So, I don't know if you're watching my stream. So this is a perfect example where here's the guy who's lining up the shot, right? So he's got white, and you see how long it takes before he's shot. Sometimes it is meant to give you a red indication that he's about to shoot so that you know that's the timing to dodge. And that's my issue, where it's like, okay, you've got a guy that's aiming at me, but I can't instantly just go up to him and hit him because I've got someone else that's currently charging me. So it's like, well, what? I either get hit by that guy running into me or I get shot by the bullet. Like, I don't have another option because it's not responsive enough to react according to where you are and what you're trying to do at any given time. Yeah.
How interesting. Because it looks really
It's stunning.
enjoyable.
Oh my god. It's, from a visual standpoint, it's breathtaking. I will say, though, there is a pacing issue that I think some people might have problems with. Considering I had just come back from playing Planet Lana, and that's got this really nice pacing of action, set piece, puzzle, action, set piece, puzzle, and sometimes it'll be puzzle, sometimes it'll be action, whatever it requires. And moments of quiet and moments of kind of just you're walking through and exploring, which is fine. But I think Planet Lana does the pacing a lot better, whereas this game, there are times where it feels like it's almost like it's struggling to be either an action game or like a click adventure, where I feel like I'm off having to do these little click adventure, little go and, find someone who's got this so-and-so item and then come back and then I'll be able to give you this item so that you can go give it to someone else to get something else as a reward. And that's fine, but it breaks the pace at times. Especially when you've got something that's so, forward driven in its storytelling and it wants to move along and kind of get you from point A to point B. And then there are moments like the last section that I did. I swear I felt like I did the same type of entry dealing with the enemies 3 times. So they like, you come into their base, which is this underground mine that's been shut down for God knows how long. You are climbing on a pipe, so you've seen these guys. They're all in this massive meeting. They're all sitting there chatting amongst each other with the boss, who's just told them, go off and find this asshole and hunt him down. You go and it's like Indiana Jones style, where you're watching all the the bad guys downstairs. So I climb the pipe breaks, I fall down, go into a combat sequence. That exact kind of set piece happens multiple times, just with minor tweaks. So it'll be like, okay, I go into another area that I'm climbing something, or so I've fallen through the roof and now I've dropped down again and everything's gone blurry, and then all of a sudden I'm surrounded by all these bad guys. Or I'm about to head into an elevator and some bad guy kicks me. I come crashing down on the floor, almost pass out, and all these bad guys are all around me again. It's like, seriously? So there's just this weird cadence and pacing in the story where I feel like you didn't actually have enough gameplay. You didn't actually think about the game design. You are telling a great story, and it's what you were talking about before, where I think the game, they focused on the visuals and they focused on the storytelling, but the gameplay is what's lacking here.
Damn.
So, yeah, really cool story, really cool world. I will say there are moments where visually you sometimes don't know exactly what you are meant to be looking for or where to go. A lot of the times it's pretty clear, but there are a few moments where I went, whoa, wait, where? Oh, I need to go over here. All right, cool. So, but for the most part, it's pretty consistent in its art style, in its quality. It's just lacking in, I think, some creativity from a gameplay and a feel. It doesn't feel fun to explore. It doesn't feel fun to play, to like jump in and play as this character who's supposed to feel badass.
Oof.
So
That's disappointing.
yeah, you're telling
Oh
me,
my
man.
god.
I was looking forward to this game, and like it's a good price. I'm never going to complain about the price, and I got it even cheaper because I had it. There was some discount on Steam where they were pricing it or packaging it with Planet Lana, and because I had already gotten Planet Lana, I
You got
got
it
the
for
game even
cheaper.
cheaper. Yeah, I'm like,
Nice.
perfect, awesome, no complaints. Um, but it's just to be so excited to be looking forward to this style again because I love side scrollers and anything that's going to be cyberpunk esque or something that's got this real kind of flair and style to it. I eat it up. I love this kind of shit. It's just unfortunate that it doesn't feel fun to play. Like it's rudimentary, but you compare it to any other side-scrolling beat 'em up or action game.
Mhm.
There's so many that do it so much better, and I just go, how did you fuck this up? You had a very basic system. You could have made it far more smoother and far more enjoyable, and you made it overly heavy so that there's like a sense of um I don't know, like risk, but it's not an enjoyable risk. It just feels like you're having to battle with the fucking controller, battle with the character to listen to your simple fucking commands half the time. So, yeah. Yeah, that's all I can say about that one.
Wow.
Mm. So, I'm about halfway
But
through. Yeah,
you are
I'm
planning on finishing it.
yeah. No, I'm going to finish it. So, I'm about halfway, I think halfway through or about a third based on how many notes I've also picked up. This is the other thing. So even from a menu standpoint, I've got items that I haven't picked up that I've missed. It's not like the game offers a chapter select. And this is what's bizarre from a pacing standpoint because some chapters you go through and you're like, oh yeah, that's pretty short. And then others you're like, this is like, it goes on and on and on and on and on and on. And it's like, seriously, cut these down, guys. It needs to be quicker. You're making a smaller game. It doesn't have to be this fucking like slow and cumbersome. Like if you were making a click adventure, I'd understand and I'd be fine with that. But no, you're making a side scroller and you're making me do these weird fucking fetch quests for some level ups, whereas you could have just made these short, sharp little levels, had me find items, and have me be able to replay the level so I could mid max the character all the way to the end. But you don't even offer that. I'm not allowed to go into a menu and chapter select a level. If I want to find those dossiers, I need to either find them on my first playthrough or I'm going to look them up online in order to get the required information I need. Unless something else unlocks at the end of the game, which for me is fucking bizarre. But I will finish it, I will play it, I will see what it's like, and I will give you my final thoughts at the end of it. And see whether it
Okay.
sticks the landing, because that's, I guess, I'm only really sticking through to see how the story plays out, because I am actually so invested in the world building. It's really fucking cool. I love the kind of set piece that they've set up. And the politics are really neat. But it sucks that I'm not enjoying my experience going through it. And I'm like, what other bullshit are you going to put me through just to get through to the next story beat that I actually want? Like when I pick up a little dossier and I'm reading something about the world, it's like, oh, cool, this is fun. And then I have to play the game and it's like, oh. So we'll see. Maybe a certain train chase sequence will change my mind, but based on what I'm playing so far, I fucking doubt it. So, yeah.
Oof. Well, hopefully it gets somewhat better. I hope.
One can only hope. One can only hope. I'm also now thinking about it. I do wonder whether maybe playing it on the Steam Deck maybe changes the experience. I don't know. I don't think it should,
Oh.
just from a performance standpoint. So I wonder if
Yeah.
it would play differently on a PC. I might give that a go just to see if there's a comparison. Now that I think about it. Which, if that's the case, considering they announced that it was Steam Deck ready or Steam Deck approved, that's a massive fuck you from the developer. Like, if I notice that it plays differently on PC and it's a smoother experience compared to Steam Deck, that's like a nah, fuck you. You sat there, you gave the fucking tick of approval for Steam Deck. I'd expect the same quality standard, not a weaker. Like, it's not like if it was a graphical downgrade, completely understand. But if the gameplay is affected in any way, that's an issue. So, yeah. So that's my rant. Where would you like to begin? I'm going to try and keep it relatively streamlined tonight just because I'm fucking fatigued.
Understandable.
But do you want to start this off with anything?
Let's start off with, I think this one will be easy to chat about. You've already included a lot of the stuff that I was going to talk about, so I've added one, and that is the Lego Batman gameplay trailer that they showcased.
Here, let me just... Oh, that's not what I wanted. I want to pull up that. Go on.
So they're now doing this really interesting mechanic of building the Batcave as you progress. And that's where you unlock your skill tree. You have all your different Batmobiles. The skill tree doesn't just relate to Batman. It relates to your other characters like Nightwing, Catwoman, Robin. So it's a lot more of an RPG than I thought it was going to be. It's not like a traditional Lego game where, oh, well, this character will specialize in A, B, and C, and you have to bring them along. It's no, this character will have a lot of different abilities that you can unlock. I kind of got really excited by this. Just by this trailer, I felt a lot more excited to play. It feels like they are doing a real good justice to to a Batman game, because I felt the previous Batman games were fun, allowing you to play as the Flash and incorporating, he's going to be really strong, playing as Superman, and he's going to be invincible, he can fly, having this open world where you can fly around. But this just feels like what Gotham Knights was, with the different skill trees and the skills that you can use while exploring with the traversal abilities, with the added attention to, well, you're going to start off the game with a Batman who is starting out to end with the Batman we now know. And I really like that. Having that attention to having something to work towards instead of, oh, collect the minifigs and this and that. Sure, that's going to be in the game. But having a tangible location to build, I think that's going to be sick. I'm looking forward to it. After seeing this, yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it.
Hold on.
What are your thoughts?
It's very important that the discussion we had earlier about developers, going the extra mile and like really giving us finding. Look at the texture on the fucking cape. Come on. I feel like I can pick that up and I know exactly how that feels. No, but
That's
jokes
one
aside.
really good thing about the Lego games is that they've always been true to being what Lego is as a physical toy. And their games have done such a good job in making you feel that, oh, well, when I destroy this, the pieces of Lego that are used to build it will be the pieces that fall off. It's so good. And seeing the minifigs being actual representations of what they've got in the market, what a great marketing scheme. Because I can assure you, people are going to go out and buy a lot of the DC Lego kits because of this game.
I'll say this.
Well, mm,
It annoys me that the last Lego Star Wars game
oh,
didn't have this level of
the
just.
complete edition.
I didn't
They
even
fly
need.
now.
Man, I didn't
Sorry.
even need the complete edition. I just needed 1 to 6. But what I wanted was what they're doing here with Batsy. And it's so infuriating that I feel like this is actually getting. It's just, I feel like it's getting it right. To be fair, it's probably easier to deal with this IP because you can just create your own story arc and do all the references, which is what they're doing. They've come up with an interesting story that kind of ties all the memorable moments in the Batman movie mythos together with maybe some references to comic books and the animations and God knows what else. Versus Star Wars, which is very, you know what the story of Star Wars is because there's only ever been one interpretation or one iteration of it. We haven't had multiple. But considering Lego has always been loosey-goosey with the storytelling anyway, I'm surprised that they never did that in the first place with 1 to 6 or 1 to 9, whatever you want to call it. The saga. But that said,
the complete saga did something cool that I wish they expanded on, which was the intertravel between planets. I like that you could fly in out of space and fuck around with the spaceships because that's such a core element to Star Wars.
But like, this is what I mean. Instead of it being, okay, you start at the beginning of the saga, right? So you have that hub world, right? You have Coruscant, and you fly around to locations. What would have been cool is if you would have seen all the various major locations change as you go through the story. So that you're just doing the quests and you've got other little side quests along the route for these main characters, and you're moving through that timeline and seeing the changes affecting the kind of like the areas. That would have been sick, but they don't really play with any of that. And it was just like, anyway.
I agree.
We got what we got. It was
But
it's
this
this is going to be, I reckon this is exactly what they needed it to be. This is finally,
in my opinion, I think this is such a safe choice in IP to build the game. Having Batman, which is the second highest profitable hero in the market, next to Spider-Man. This game is the attention to detail. They went, okay, what worked? Arkham series, the trilogy worked really well. Gotham Knights, look, I know people had their issues with it. I fucking enjoyed it.
We both
I'm gonna
did.
say it's better than Arkham Knight. I love that it had co-op.
Mm-hmm.
Arkham Asylum, phenomenal. Arkham City, I don't know how they did it, but phenomenal again.
Yeah.
And it's rare for a sequel to work so well. And it worked.
Uncharted
Arkham
2.
Knight.
Sorry, what?
You're so right. You are so right. Because Uncharted 2 just got
Jack and
better.
Dexter 2. Sorry, I've got this cough. Oh, I really gotta stop. Prince of Persia 2, Warrior Within. What?
Did you say Kingdom Hearts 2?
No, but I can if you like.
You might as well add it.
Oh, we'll just throw that in there. Oh man. Yeah.
So I feel this game is for them to create yet another open world of Gotham, and having what I think is going to be a better car system than what Arkham Knight had, and incorporate a lot of the mini games with racing and whatnot, especially the co-op side of things, where anyone can play it because it's Lego. It's not going to take itself way too seriously that it's going to feel intimidating for a kid to play. I love that. And again, it's not realistic. It's a fucking video game set in a Lego world. I'm not looking for, how Batman's going to scold at Joker and Joker's going to have really creased paint skin, and no, none of that shit.
Can I
It's going to
Yeah,
be
go
toys.
on. Can
I was just going to say.
Yeah, no, I just want to point out that Rocksteady had the ability to make this game. And though I enjoy Gotham Knights because of the co-op aspect and some of the other mechanics that they play around with, like, is it an amazing game? Well, probably not. But I think what they attempted to do worked for my sensibilities. It's unfortunate that obviously a lot of people sat there and went, well, you don't have Batman. Well, it doesn't quite play like the Gotham games. It's like, yes, I completely agree. But if you look at it for what it is as a co-op game in a Batman universe, I think it works really fucking well.
Yep.
And as a first iteration, I think it's great. And it's sad that Rocksteady decided to make Suicide Squad over this style of game, which I honestly feel like this is so much better. And I just, it's hard to believe that we're getting another version of a Rocksteady style game from a Lego developer who just looked at their mechanics and went, let's just do that, but Legofy it. And allow people to play as multiple characters. That's the part that money was on the table, guys. And look, to be fair, we don't know whether, like, this game might not sell that well. But everything that I'm seeing, this looks fucking fun. It looks legit. It has an open world setting. You've got multiple characters. You have all the references. I mean, it would have to be a really bad game not to sell that well, but
I think the only thing that will be a large factor, the price point.
I mean, that's been the issue for most of the industry at the moment, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So
Because this, I think, is 110.
yeah. So it's a
Yeah.
full price game. It's a full price game. There's no
It's
getting around it.
it's a what I call a premium game.
Mm-hmm.
A full price game to me could be like Mouse P.I, which was $45 or $44.
Yep.
This is a premium priced game
Yeah.
in a market that is filled to the brim with so many others.
Yep.
And at that point, I mean, if I had a kid who was 6, I would get Lego Batman 3 and go, hey, Batman's in this, but his friends are in it too, and we can play co-op together. That's a great starting point. I wouldn't go 1 because that's a bit too old in how the mechanics of Lego was, and it's a bit of a slog. And that I can get at a far cheaper price. Because I'm pretty sure Lego Batman 3 is like $20.
Try 748 currently on sale.
30 at full price.
Yeah.
750 on sale now. Fucking bargain.
It does annoy me that this is only single player.
No, it's
this
not.
Is, according to Steam, it is.
I guarantee you it is confirmed that it is co-op.
Wow.
Because that was one of the showcases that they did where one character was Batman and the other person was...
I mean, that's what I thought.
No.
But now I'm...
Sure.
Unless they're doing the same bullshit thing that always happens on PC, where, PC doesn't get co-op, but PlayStation, yeah, Xbox, yeah, Nintendo, absolutely.
And it's funny, the only game they did online co-op for was Lego Star Wars The Clone Wars. It was the only one that had online co-op. But this, I am so sure it's got a co-op. If it doesn't, then I would be shocked.
It'll be I think one of their first games that won't have co-op then. Based on what I'm seeing, though, it's looking like it's not going to have it, so... Yeah. Batman Legacy of the
fans of all generations will be able to enjoy the game solo or team up with a friend or family member through 2-player local couch cooperative play
features
only.
2-player local couch co-op. Okay, allowing players to team up. Okay, so it does have couch co-op. So why wouldn't it say it? Maybe they haven't got all the details and they haven't updated the Steam page.
This game comes out in a month.
Uh-huh. Next week. No, next month.
No.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say next week.
Yeah, I know. You'd be like, I'm on that shit right now. Yeah, so it looks good. I'm not disputing that. Look, it doesn't look good. I think I'm just not in the mindset to play this right now. But maybe as Piper gets older, I might pick it up on sale.
This is a game that I will purchase when on sale only because I refuse to pay $110.
See, this is the thing. Depending on the title, I have no issues. Like Crimson
Absolutely.
Desert, I had no issues. And honestly, I feel like I'm going to get my money's worth. For me,
yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's subjective for everyone. If I had the time and I really wanted a Batman game, I would probably buy this at full price. Because honestly, there's so much happening. There's so much that they're putting into this. This is a large scale game. And it feels premium. This isn't, some off the shelf attempt at, an open world platformer with like Lego sensibilities. They are putting their money where their mouth is. And I think it's worth it if you want this type of experience. But if you cannot justify the price or you can't afford it, that's fine. Wait for a sale.
See, my problem is you pay $110 now, play the game, get a story DLC. We're going to drop a whole bunch of different DLC packs, get different characters, new levels.
Yeah.
You're getting close to $200.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Lego Batman 3 Beyond, where you get everything. So, Lego Batman 3 and the Season Pass, which gives you access to the 3 paid content, a whole whopping $9.
Mm-hmm.
You might as well just... It's like 100%. I get it. If the game to you is worth that price of paying it because you want to support them, absolutely. I've done it. So many people do. But when my current feelings of a very premium price for a game that I don't think needs to be at 110, especially for the company that it is, sorry, WB can go fuck themselves. I'm not going to give them more money than what they deserve for the shit that they've done. Canceling Batgirl movie after it was done. And that's just one of the poor business decisions that they've made. But if I can get this, and I know is a far cheaper price in the future, where I know that there will be many other games coming out in the meantime, I can wait. And I know I can get a pack. Would I pay $40 for this game? Sure. With the DLCs? Sure. 60? Maybe. I'll consider it. 110? Boy, that is pricey. And I'm not going to be one of those consumers who normalizes that behavior. I've done it in the past when we were younger, and I just bought video games when they came out. Not doing it now.
At the end of the day, if you've got disposable income, you're going to spend money on whatever it is that you're going to spend money on. It's always going to be hard for people like us who have responsibilities or have bills to pay or have God knows what other financial things that we're trying to, balance and consider. Again, it just comes down, I think, for what you're paying, if there's nothing else and you've got $110 lying around for what would be, 35, 40 hours worth of content, I think it's worth it. Like, we're talking, what is that? About $3 an hour type of deal. So, yeah. But again, if you feel that you've already got other things and you're happy to wait for the sale and you're patient, you don't feel the FOMO. I mean, we both always had this mindset. Support the dev at whatever price you're willing to spend on the product. Just keep in mind that a lot of time and money and effort has gone into this. They're also paying license fees. If they don't get the substantial sales early on, the likelihood of them still being around or being able to make this quality of product again dramatically decreases. And like, I'll be honest, at least with this team, they've at least we've gotten a game, probably more games from them consistently than what Naughty Dog has released in God knows how long.
Oh boy, yeah.
And they're at least playing with different mediums. They're playing with different, types of games, trying to figure out different modes of play.
Do you want to play The Last of Us Part 1 again? This time in higher definition than high definition? Fuck off. Fuck right off.
So, wait, when was, Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga? Yeah, 2022. 3, 4, 5. So it's taken them 4 years to make this Batman game. That's really fucking good. I'm sorry, but not a lot of AAA developers nowadays are able to develop in that time frame. Like, I get the cost of development has gone up. I get that it's much more complicated. There's more moving parts. However, this tells me that you can still make a good quality game, a really high premium quality game within a budget-friendly time frame, and not have it so that people feel like, oh, it's going to be 6 or 8 years, or it's going to be, a fucking century before I get to play the product. Like, are you fucking serious? We still don't have Beyond Good and Evil. Like, am I actually going to see it in my lifetime, or is that just a pipe dream? I don't fucking know.
Oh, gosh. That game.
Yeah. I'm just not going there. It's not worth it.
No.
If I see it, I see it. But I'm not expecting it to be anything of the...
It won't be the game that they showcased as a tech demo.
You
There's
know what?
no way.
It's not even that. It's not the game that I wanted as the true sequel to the original game.
Not even a sequel.
Like, I wanted the sequel that they had first announced in one of the E3s many, many years ago, where you've got Jade in the desert underneath an umbrella, and you've got her best friend trying to fix the engine of whatever vehicle that they're in. And I went, awesome, we're on a new planet, dealing with new issues, probably trying to fix our ship to then fly off to maybe one of 2 or 3 planets and deal with a different solar system. I didn't need it to be massive. I needed it to just be, instead of giving me one area and outside of that area to explore, give me 3 kind of zones, 3 planets to explore.
Nice, concise. Really nicely detailed with different puzzles.
Yep.
And I feel, just a theory, Star Wars Outlaws was that test.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, probably. It's just a shame that the game fucking sucked, but anyway.
Yeah, I haven't played it, and I refuse to pay any more than $10, and it hasn't reached that price.
Even at $10, you'll turn around and be like, well, I know I only spent $10, but it's fine. And at least you'll have the improved version with all the patches and all the bells and whistles that they could have added just to make it slightly more enjoyable. But anyway, doesn't really fix a lot of the underlying issues. Moving on.
Since we're on the topic of Ubisoft,
Oh, Assassin's Creed?
shall we?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what was it? Insider Gamer confirms Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced is scheduled to release July 9th, 2026. We were supposed to get a trailer on Friday, according to them. But that didn't go through. I would say Thursday America, Friday here. I mean, there's what more can I say about a remake? If it is a remake or a remaster, however you want to word it, because apparently they've added stuff. Until I see it, I don't really know. But I mean, if it's going to be an Assassin's Creed that I'd probably want to or would be happy to replay, I think it would be that one. So, anything you'd like to add?
Assassin's Creed is such an interesting IP because it changed vastly over the years, over the decades since its first iteration.
Yep.
Black Flag did hit a really high note in the series. I never finished it because I got bored, because I played every other Assassin's Creed prior. And when I played Black Flag, and while I did enjoy it, I have to sail to this island and collect all these and climb this tower and do a leap of faith into this hay bale so I can unlock the map, more icons. I just got bored.
Yep.
The combat was boring. The ship was fun. I liked that they made you feel like a pirate. They nailed that. So for me, this whole re-release of Black Flag, especially after the failure of Skull and Bones, and the track record that Ubisoft has, because I can assure you, the more failures that they have lined up, we won't see Ubisoft for much longer.
Not at the state they're going, no.
No. So it's going to be interesting. There's no hype around this game because we're at the end of April. Supposedly this game is coming out start of July.
Yep.
You would want to start getting people talking about it. You want to get the marketing for it going.
Well, I think
do a reveal trailer.
That's what they were supposed to do this week, but for whatever reason it's been delayed. So it's now going to be shown this coming week.
It's interesting. Why not use a large platform like the Game Awards to show a teaser trailer? Announce that the game is officially happening. Wow, 12 years ago. Jesus Christ.
I know.
It's Ubisoft. I'm sure it's going to have the Ubisoft tropes of their combat as it is now. So it has that Dark Souls vibe of here's your heavy, here's your light attack.
It's what they're going for at the moment. That's why they're redoing it.
Yeah, remake one. Honestly, remake one and start from there. Modernize your older titles and go from there. But I have no interest in playing it. I know your thoughts on Sea of Thieves, and I agree with it didn't give that feel But Rare did something so great with the puzzle elements.
Oh yeah, I'd love to
And
go back and finish like all the other fucking puzzles and
we have
quests that we
so
hadn't done.
much.
Yeah, I know, especially now.
So much.
But
But what's the new one? Wind Rises? Wind Rose?
I don't know.
The new pirate survival game that's come out.
Oh, Windrose.
Windrose. That's come off pretty strong. Mm-hmm. It has a really good reception. It's an early access game. Is a re-release of Black Flag going to help Ubisoft when people are playing a game that's doing something that's already better than what Ubisoft will offer? You've got base building. You've got a good combat system already implemented. You've already got ship building and ship driving, multiplayer. It's ticking a lot of things. The only thing is that it's not out on consoles. It's just early access on Steam. So you are segregating the market in that sense. So I get that Black Flag might have some upper hand on it, but I think people are moving away from Ubisoft games and going more towards a lot more advanced games, so to speak. Like Crimson Desert, sorry, that game you're right, it is already doing what Ubisoft should have been doing years ago. If you want combat, you either play a Dark Souls game. If you're not really into a masochist style game, you would play so many others. I can't think of other action games, but there's so many games already out there. Ubisoft's competing with themselves, so I don't think that.
But they're doing it so badly. That's what I don't understand. So, like,
I just don't get why they're not marketing this game.
This is
what is happening?
I don't know. Either they're cautious about it or something else. I don't know. We will see. It's funny because tell me, in all honesty, like I know people like to praise Assassin's Creed Odyssey, the one set in Greece, but can people seriously tell me that they have actually made an Assassin's Creed with a super memorable story that people have gone back to time and time again because they just want to relive that whole experience? Maybe two. Everything else is being predicated on gameplay and only because of the settings. And I think the only thing that really works with Black Flag is the fact that it's very indicative of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's what really sells on that premise, on that concept, on that idea. And
Kingdom Hearts 3 does a better job of doing pirates than what Ubisoft has done.
Well, look.
And that was literally Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes. I still think at the time, from memory, I enjoyed the whole pirate experience. The Assassin's Creed aspect and the kind of old remnants of the 1, 2, and 3 were holding, I think, the rest of the game back. So if what they're planning on doing is true, where they're rebuilding a lot of those core mechanics so that, okay, you don't have to sync onto islands anymore. You can literally just go from island to island to island. Awesome. So you've actually made it a proper open world as opposed to what Black Flag is originally. And then you've improved the combat so that you do have, the Souls-like or like whatever the action kind of modern action sensibilities that games typically have nowadays.
Mhm.
Awesome, great. You're modernizing it. You're updating all of that. Wonderful. It's still not going to fix the underlying issue, which is the story's just kind of, it exists. The only thing that for me is memorable about Black Flag is the music. That's the one thing that I will say without a shadow of a doubt. The composer, who also I think did the composition for Far Cry 3, did a phenomenal job. I still occasionally go back and listen to that soundtrack. But other than that, you're going to go through it. You're going to be like, yay, that was kind of a sort of fun piratey adventure. Moving on with my life. So, yeah. It'll be what it'll be. I'm sure we will see it this week. Announcement or trailer or however they choose to showcase it. State what the date is, and we will eventually maybe play it, maybe not. Who cares? But I think what you said and what we've talked about in the past, Ubisoft is not the innovative developer that they once were. They are a shell of themselves, and they are constantly chasing the easy solution, the easy route, as opposed to the long, painful, but more rewarding path of pushing the bounds of what games could be. They're just box tickers.
Yeah. I'm sure their shareholders are happy.
And it seems as provided people are buying it, why wouldn't they be happy? Why shouldn't they be happy? So, yeah, it sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Since we're on the topic of upcoming games, Metro 2039 finally gets a fucking release trailer. Are you a fan of Metro? Have you played them?
I haven't played Metro, but I did watch the trailer. I know it's a very cult classic, fan favorite. It's intriguing with the story. I was disappointed with the gameplay that they showed it at the end of the trailer.
All but 1 minute, if that.
Well, it didn't actually look like actual gameplay. It looked like an in-game cutscene.
No. Well, yes. All right, so I can tell you exactly what it is. You are absolutely right. It is. So what it most likely is this is the person playing the game. So you're actually seeing, hey, this is what the graphics look like. This is what the lighting system looks like. This is some of the systems. He then sees the thing. He runs. He obviously gets to whatever the kind of moment is. And then it clicks in that animation, which then plays out as we see as, all right, well, now it just feels like a cutscene. Whether it exactly plays like that when the game is out, that's yet to be determined. But typically, that's very common for these games. So they obviously just showed us just a small little snippet of, hey, here's kind of what the game is looking like. And we're just going to show you like this little cutscene bit where it transitions as you're getting into one of the bunkers. Visually, it looks stunning. The concept looks awesome. We've talked about this. I hate these fucking trailers. And this is like the second or third one I've seen in the last month, where instead of it being like, we've had cinematic trailers. They've existed for a while, but they're usually no longer than 2 or 3 minutes. And it boggles my mind that these developers are now starting to kind of give us, like, this is 5 minutes of just dribble, sorry, not dribble, dribble, which is cool. It sets the stage. It's providing the tone and whatnot, but like, just where's the fucking gameplay? You wasted 5 minutes of my time to only show me like less than a minute of actual gameplay? Seriously? That's how you announce this? This trailer, the cinematic side of it, probably should have come out a while ago.
Yep.
It's just, what was it? I think it was the recent Tarkov space game. Had like a 7-minute cinematic, which set up the whole world building and the set piece and the story. And I thought, this is cool if you were doing a movie. But because I want to see the gameplay, show me the fucking gameplay. And they did the same thing. They like did this 6-7 minute fucking intro with various cuts, and then they gave you like 20 seconds of gameplay. And I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? So these marketing teams are just missing the fucking point. I don't. It fucking annoys me.
I agree. There's just, if you want to reveal a game, sure, but have a game with it.
Yeah.
Don't show me a movie trailer. I want to see the product you are selling me. Not, well, this looks nice, but what is this?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I will stand my ground on my theory. I don't think that gameplay trailer they showed was actual gameplay. It looked way too clean. It looked way too, I mean, of course it's going to be scripted, but just the way you move in the world just felt so cinematic, as if it was an in-game cutscene. I just, and it's coming out soon.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing I don't get. These games have a recent release date. Why are you waiting now? Because this comes out in a month as well.
No, I think no, they said winter, so that'll be later this year. That'll
end
be
of
closer.
year.
Yeah. No, look, again, that is most likely going to be what it looks like. These games are known for having a very cinematic feel. They have really nailed this sense of presence in the world where you feel like you're actually, like, the fact that they go into the effort of animating the breathing apparatus so that when your character is breathing, you can see kind of the breathing follicles and the air kind of misting up the glasses. There's a real connective tissue to how they actually build it visually. But this just looks like it's taking it a little bit further. Not by much, a little bit further. But yeah, the last bit was very much scripted when he's being attacked. Metro Exodus. I just want to show you. I mean, this is PS5 gameplay.
Exodus is the latest one.
Correct.
Yep, cool.
Let's have a look. This is always the other issue, is that when you get a developer playing through it, they're always going to be very slow and methodical. But yeah, like this is a cutscene from the last one. And it's gone.
See the way the camera moves?
Mm.
In that in-game cutscene, the camera moves in a very specific way. That is how that last gameplay trailer looked. It didn't feel like it was someone controlling. It doesn't sit right. And when the game releases and when you play it, I want you to tell me if it was playable or if it was a cutscene.
I mean, that's fair. Look, I think, again, a player is always going to play it differently compared to a
But
developer.
look how the camera looks, right? When he's moving around,
yep,
it's far different than what it looked like in that moment of gameplay.
Okay, no, because again, I said it just a second ago. Developers, when they showcase, present it, they do the slow panning. They want you to see every little bit of it. They're also aware of the fact that YouTube's algorithm, or like how it's dealing with the codecs, is fucked. So if they don't do it in a specific way, then it doesn't come across clean. This is just what Digital Foundry has pointed out.
YouTube does like a decompiling of videos.
Yeah. 2039.
I get that. I absolutely get that. But it matches how the cutscene works when the monster attacks. It's the same camera panning. It's still slow when you're running down the escalators to the bunker. It's the same. When he turns around to look, it has that same...
For example, look at how his gun is slowly adjusting when he's looking at... So yeah, I'm not disputing that there isn't a cinematic quality and a cinematic look. This is probably them trying to showcase the new graphic engine, the new kind of detail that they've got. But there's nothing clean.
Is this an in-game engine?
Yeah, I would say this is in-game. Nice. If you look at...
sorry, in-house engine. They're not using like Unreal Engine or anything.
I actually don't know. Metro X... this engine. What are they running? A4 engine. So yeah, it's one of their own proprietary ones.
Right.
But yeah, you can see the little micro adjustments that he's doing with, say, a controller before he then runs down. And it's obvious, like, I will agree with you. At some point here, there is a transition.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, the rest of it then just does suddenly become cinematic. Because, yeah, from here, absolutely. This would be a cutscene that is you just being pulled in, being saved, looking at these random people. And then, depending on the system that you're running this on, will also determine how it looks.
Of course, yeah.
Because I know... yeah, that's with the ray tracing. I mean, so yeah, this is going to be what the previous one looked like. But I remember back then, the previous game looked flippin' amazing. So maybe by today's standards, it's dropped the bar ever so slightly. Yeah. Good series. This is the only game I haven't played, though. I played the first two. Haven't played Exodus.
Oh, why is that?
Yeah. Just didn't get around to it. Wasn't in the mood. Yeah, and I think I was also in that mindset of I wanted to build a better system because I knew how demanding it was when I still had the 1060 system.
Yep.
Because they've always pushed the bar with the graphics, so I know I can run it perfectly fine now. I just haven't gotten around to it, haven't been in the mindset. And at this stage, if they've announced a new game, I might even consider replaying all of them, going from 1 to 3, and then when 4 comes out, chuck that on, play through that. Because they're relatively short. Like, they're not long shooters, but they are fun. Did you have anything you wanted to add?
Nah. It's not a game series that I'll play.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I'll watch it for the story, because I think the story is sick.
It's an interesting world. Yeah, it's very dark, dystopian, with a little bit of like it's not quite Cthulhu, but it feels like there's something alien.
Greater. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a fascinating world. Apparently, Jez Gordon from the XB2 podcast mentioned that Xbox is looking back into exclusivity.
Oh, I did see that, which is interesting. Because I've read that someone's contradicted that and gone, no. So that's interesting.
Who's said it's contradictory?
I saw it on a Reddit post. And then because it was Xbox, I didn't retain the information, which I should have.
Yeah. That's fair.
But I think it was Bethesda. Because when the comment came out, and then Bethesda's like, no, we're still multi-platform.
The interview with their old I'm trying to remember his name, but he was the old executive producer, part of the Bethesda ZeniMax kind of team. He's been spouting he's been talking and sharing his thoughts and opinions on Microsoft as a developer / producer. And yeah, he's had some negative comments about just how they say one thing, they do another. They haven't necessarily been the best fosterers of Bethesda's kind of development, which is why he kind of walked away from the studio initially. It's a bit rough, but it'll be interesting to see how Asha Sharma takes charge and what decisions she makes over the next year or two. Because it seems like they might be reconsidering certain decisions. It feels like she's trying to restructure things. Maybe for the better, maybe for the worst. We don't know. Time will tell. So anything's possible.
Xbox is in a very interesting position.
Yes, they are. And not necessarily a good one either. Oh man, this one made me laugh. So Insider Gaming reports Sony's Haven Studios' first title, Fairgames, is now leaning into an extraction shooter.
Oh my god.
So going from being a PvE heist game, it's now potentially going to have an extraction shooter mode attached to it. So they've still got the heist mode, but then apparently they've got like an extraction mode or something along those lines.
The game mode's description reads, break in, find a vault code to gain access to the safe. collect cash, upgrade your skill set, and make your play. Drill. The vault is breached. Be the team to grab the cargo or set up your strategy to intercept it. Extract. The cargo must be brought to the extraction site. Use the extraction device to call your ride home. If your team fails to extract cargo, use another exit to get away. So is this now going to be every desirable game where something's an extraction shooter? Is this what the market's really craving for? Oh, people will spend money on this because it's an extraction shooter. They love extraction shooters because they're playing this. Well, if they're playing that game, good luck because they're probably like that game.
Yeah.
For a fucking reason.
Yeah.
You were too late.
Dude, this is like, so I was watching, I don't know if you've ever heard of Legendary Drop. He's a YouTuber that I watch. He did a recent video on Epic Games, and I highly recommend watching it. It's fascinating, but there's obviously been some recent news with Epic Games and some of the decisions that they've been making, the layoffs, and then the restructuring of how they're building their games, where a lot of the times they're now building games up to about version 0.5 and then releasing them and just going, we'll fix it after. We'll just get the game out and then we'll fix it along the way. And so they're ending up releasing a lot of these half-assed updates, these half-assed modes that aren't finished, that require a lot of patching because their mindset is just get it out. There's an idea, get it out. Without any real consideration of, yeah, but you've got the money. How about put the quality and the time in and make people feel like they're getting the value out of it? But that said, there's also the fact that they are looking at what are the trends and how quickly can we make something that just fits the trend at the time. And it's like, guys, you're missing the point. You're never going to create, like, the fact that you did it once is great. Congratulations. You looked at the success of PUBG and went, we can do that. Let's give that a go and just shit it out. Well done. You've done it once. Congratulations. That doesn't mean you're going to be able to fucking replicate that 100% of the time. But these studios just seem hell-bent on looking at what the landscape is and going, copy that. Make our version of that. Make it cheap. Hurry up. Get it out. These executives, man, no respect. It's no wonder why there's 45% of developers now looking at wanting to leave the industry, huh? Do we segue to that? Or do we just want to sit on this last one a bit?
No, because let's segue, because we've discussed the pathetic ways that corporations jump onto trends. So let's go into the redundancies. So 44% of games industry professionals have considered leaving the industry as a result of redundancies. Our game didn't make $1 billion. You're fired. We're going to have to let you go.
Oh, we made so much money. Let's make a studio that's got a gym and a fucking cinema, and we're gonna have a fucking pizza night every single day of the week. have a caterer, have our own personal chef. What do you mean we don't have enough money to release the game in a year and a half? What?
Or,
Oh,
or, wow, these CEOs get way too much money for the position that they're
man,
in.
yeah, fucking hell.
Why? Why are they being paid so much fucking money?
Who the fuck knows, man? Who the fuck knows?
But yet, a Japanese company, that CEO or lead will have a pay cut to make sure that their staff are paid equally. Crazy what a Western society does with greed. But yet, an Eastern company, sure, their working conditions are a lot more intense. I won't deny that. But there is something to say about a leader who will take a pay cut so that there isn't a need for high redundancy rates or turnover rates.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense in my mind where, Activision, for example, COD, it sold gangbusters. It made them money. And at the time, good old Bobby Kotick. Oh, this isn't enough. We're going to have to cut the team back. Sorry? So the COD that just released made more money than what it did last year from your last release. And that's still not good enough for you? Really? Really? Fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck right off with your greed. I don't blame people in the industry wanting to leave. We're going through an economic crisis. There is going to be another gaming crash any moment now.
Yep.
It makes sense that you have, sadly, an industry that will suffer. And guess who's going to be the one that's going to save it? Because they crashed it last time and they saved it again.
Nintendo.
Good on Nintendo. Yeah.
Well, this is why I'm so fascinated between Sony now going back into exclusivity and Microsoft flirting with the idea. Are they now looking at the fact that, well, people don't necessarily have that much money to spend? We want to keep them in our ecosystem. And the more open we have our ecosystem, the less we are potentially going to get from a revenue standpoint directly to our platform, because now someone else is going off to the other competitor. And I'm sure with Steam, hardware coming out, that's a potential threat to them, depending on the price point. Oh, man. Fuck it. It's sad that developers now are having to struggle just to stay in one location. And I get, like, anything to do with art is always going to be tough. Like, the movie industry is a perfect example where these guys are moving from project to project, and they might only be on a project for 2 months, 3 months, couple of weeks, depending on what they're doing. So they're just bouncing around, jumping around from location to location. God only knows what, where, for how long, what hours. You might be doing lates, you might be doing mornings. You just go where the work is. But the level of stability is fucking hard. Or at least with gaming, because it's, a dedicated, like, you need a dedicated space to make the fucking thing. You are, to some degree, potentially guaranteed anywhere between 2 to 3 years, upwards of 5 or 6, depending on how long the development cycle goes for. But it sucks that after that time frame, you don't know whether you're still going to have a job. You don't even know whether you're going to continue having that job through the the period that the game is being developed. And then you potentially have to pick up your stuff and move across the country or move to a different country entirely. It sucks. It really fucking sucks.
Yeah, because games need to be bigger and better consistently.
Yep.
And that's not true. Games don't have to be high fidelity. This goes back to the conversation that we were having with Mouse P.I. For a game that's $44 at full price, you don't need to spend so much money on, we need to have ray tracing, we need to have RTX, we need the game running at 200 frames per second because everyone's eyes can only see only so much frames per second. But we want them to see more than what they can actually interpret.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Fuck right off. No. 60 is fine. 144, you're being a bit pretentious, but okay, fine. Have it. But 60 is fine. You don't need... Sure, I get that some people want to see the light reflections flicker across the water and, oh my god, it's like I can just go outside and look at the sunset, but no, the in-game sunset is stunning. Oh my god, no, enough. You don't need to be building games in such high fidelity and have that extra cost where, oh, we need every PC to be an absolute beast. Okay, your computers might be at such a high quality because you've bought them there, but your consumers are not at that stage. Not everyone has a high fidelity computer. Hello, me.
Yeah.
I don't. There's a lot of games that I am not able to play at a standard 60 frames. I don't care if I'm not playing it at 2K because my monitor can. I don't give a shit. I'll play it at 1080p. That's fine. I don't give a shit. But if it can run consistently, that I will be happy with. And I've said this to you before. I love playing my Switch. I don't care if the game runs at 30. But if the game is consistently playing at a smooth rate of 30, no issues. Now that the Switch 2 is able to run at 60 frames, fine. Does it dip down to 30 because that's the type of game that it is? Like Metroid Prime can run at 144 frames per second in performance mode when docked. Okay, cool. Does it run consistently, smoothly? Yes. Perfect. I will play it in the mode that will allow me to play consistently. I don't care if the mesh of a rock is more jagged. I don't give a fucking shit. I am smart enough to know that when I look at something in a game, I can go, right, that's a rock. I don't need the sunlight hitting it in a particular way because the developers have gone and spent thousands upon thousands upon thousands to have the highest tech possible to build a game. I don't give a fucking shit.
Yeah.
It's tiring. And it makes games more expensive.
Yeah.
And it's so unnecessary. Because I can assure you, these games don't need to be that expensive. It's greed.
Yeah.
And it's crashing the industry. And the current status that we are in the world, we're fucked. Putting it as nicely as possible, we are fucked. We're going through a recession. It's what happens when we go through a global pandemic and then shortly after a war. We get into a recession. We crash. it's not going to be for another 5 to 10 years where things will then pick up. It sucks. And
It does.
because games are at such a premium price, people are going to buy less and less newer games because of their price point and go, well, I have hundreds of games in my Steam library. Now's the time to play them. I might as well. And they've already paid that price at a far earlier time that the games that are coming out now, just studios are just going to look and go, fuck, we're just not getting the sales we're expecting because people can't afford them.
But this is
and
why
they're now just playing older games.
But this
Or
is
they're buying indie games that are at a good entry point. Sorry.
Yeah. No. Look, I mean, this is why a lot of these indie games are finding more success in the audience, because people like yourself who do have lower end systems that don't have the money, like I've had the luxury. I know I've had the luxury to go and cough and throw money at the floor for a high end system. Most people can't even afford to buy a console right now because of how expensive they are. So if you're lucky enough to even get a laptop or a PC or even a tablet, you're going to be playing whatever you can get your hands on, and it's most likely going to start off with stuff that's free, or if you are the fortunate one to have a laptop or a PC or a console, it's going to be games on sale or the cheapest thing that you can typically play with other mates. It's no wonder these fucking friend slop games have so much success at the moment.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's tough. It's tough out there.
Oh, boy. And it's only going to get tougher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's not going to get easier. Not going to get easier. Is there anything... Go on.
What was I going to say? I stopped myself because I was going to interrupt you.
No, you're going to... No, interrupt me.
What was I going to talk? Oh, Temtem. Fuck, what's the title called? Temtem Pioneers?
Oh, yeah. Did you watch that trailer?
I think it was the latest one where they were showcasing the different like Temtem abilities and how they affect in the world.
Yep.
I don't want to be excited.
It looks good, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it to you the other day, and you were like, yeah, but, I don't trust them because they've done some shady shit in the past.
Yeah,
So...
just their choices with what they did with Temtem.
Yeah.
And how they've kind of treated their community. I just... no. That's what you're building an MMO like. You are building it for the people, not for yourselves.
Yep.
But looking at a game like Pioneers, where it is going to be cooperative, open world, and the focus is a lot more on the individual Temtems and how they interact, and seeing that video of them using their moves, I was like, oh, this is going to scratch an itch that Pokemon has kind of scratched with the Legend series, and being able to play as a Temtem. I've suddenly come around.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. I've chosen not to back them this time because I did back Temtem.
Yep.
I'm not doing it this time, but I'm keeping a close eye on it.
Look, what I saw of it looked fun, but I spoke to you, and I even spoke to Jason about it. And he said the exact same things that you did, where, yep, they just did some shady shit. They weren't honest. They were putting all this other unnecessary fucking bullshit that just ruined the game. Unless you were the one person that was happy paying money for garbage. I'm like, all right, cool, fair enough. You guys have had that experience. Not much else I can really say past that. Like, yeah, it's hopefully they've learned their lesson. Only time will tell.
I hope so, because this looks like a very ambitious game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And this is, if anything, it's competing not only with Pokemon, but Power World, which they're already talking about Power World 1.0.
Yeah, what is happening with that? Because I'm still like, is that even going to be a thing at this point?
Well, they have talked about it, so I imagine we're going to get something soon, maybe.
Fucking hope so. Jesus Christ.
I feel like there's a few things that they need to really work out, but again, it's early access. You can't always guarantee that you're going to get a complete game.
No,
Hence why
correct.
Steam warns you, hey, it's early access. If you purchase it, just be aware you might not get a complete game.
Yeah.
And I like that transparency. Speaking of early access, I think we're going to have a while until No Rest for the Wicked 1.0 comes out.
You reckon?
Either end of year or next year.
Why do you suspect that?
So I follow the subreddit of No Rest for the Wicked, and just the conversations that the devs have had and the Discord conversations that the community has posted on the subreddit, it seems like it's going to be a while.
Okay.
And if that's the case, damn.
I know. Look, it's annoying, but I rather know that they're going to get the game done and they're going to get it done right. Would I want it to be earlier? Absolutely, because I'd be there in a heartbeat playing the fucking thing. But we are still technically going through Baldur's Gate, so I think if it gets delayed, that's probably a good thing for me because I'm less likely to jump in and play it without you. Because I know myself, I'm going to be like, fuck, I want to play this thing. I want to play it. What? We need to play it. And I would probably
really
just
want to play it.
Go off and play it and then play it again with you because I know I'm going to enjoy it playing it twice. But I'm just insane like that when I can find something that just pulls me in as much as that game has. So yeah, it's that is disappointing. That is disappointing. But to be fair, we've got how many other co-op games that we can play between now and then?
So many.
Yeah.
The next one, I'm pretty confident in saying that it is Split Fiction.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I don't think that's a very big game. I mean, we're playing one of the biggest games on the market right now. And for me, I'm really happy that I can just tick it off once I'm finished. Because to me, that's an achievement that I never thought I'd ever see. So I'm really happy. I really love Baldur's Gate. That game is so much fun.
Yes, it is.
Oh, I've continued playing Jack 3.
Oh, how is that going?
I love that game so much. So much. Like, oh my god. I don't know how. Oh, it's so funny looking at where Naughty Dog is now and playing their last PS2 game.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think they made another PS2 game after that. They went into Uncharted 3 for the PlayStation,
PS3.
Uncharted 1.
Yep.
Yep. And it's just such a charming adventure. And it's funny because, again, I'm just playing it as I did when I was younger. So I'm collecting all the secrets, like, oh, yep, I've got to go over here, collect this, I've got to get this, I've got to get this. Oh my god, the game is just so fucking great. It's so much fun. I'm in Haven City, so I've done the wastelands. I'll go back eventually, but I'm following the story. I'm doing all the missions, collecting all the secrets where I can, so that when I do finish the game, I can then unlock all the abilities, so then I can go into hero mode and just essentially play New Game Plus with all unlimited ammo, infinite light and dark jack, all the upgrades, all the cars, you know, all the bullshit that makes the game really fun. And it's funny because I look at that element of you are rewarded and you can unlock really fun, stupid shit and some game-changing shit. And you just don't see that in video games these days.
Funny that.
Where, I mean, Uncharted did it, where you found the secret treasures around each level. And you can unlock Donut Jake, you could play as Elena. They were just skins, but they allowed you to do that.
Yeah.
But in today's games, it's like, no. This is what you get. No cheats.
This is all you get.
It's like, yeah. Where was the time where people had that extra little fun in games?
Yeah. Well,
but
that takes time, and then we have to spend money when we can charge people for that extra stuff.
Oh,
they're called cosmetics.
DLC.
Yeah,
that's true. That is true.
Does that be the way it goes? It sucks. I know. I don't like it, but
thanks, Bethesda.
It's where a lot of developers have gone for a lot of your premium games, as we call it, the AAAs. But isn't it ironic that you then have all the indies that just go, yeah, what else can we add? Just give them something for free. Let's patch it. Let's add this system.
Yeah.
Just give you new ways to play, new ways to do things.
Because they're, to me, indie games is what feels like that they have a grasp on what retro video games were from the 90s to the early thousands.
Yeah.
And have kept that essence alive. Oh, Jack 3 is such a fun game. If anyone is interested in playing the Jack series, make sure you have the ISO. So if you have the disc and a disc drive, drag that ISO, get OpenGoal, get it decompiled, compile it, and play the fuck out of them, because that trilogy is so much fun and you just don't get that in premium games unless it's an indie game. And even then, there's a little twist to them. But, it's so fun going back. So I played that. So I'm going through that. And I'm still going through Pokepedia. And guess who has fucking overwhelming anxiety when they play it now? This guy. Because, I finally committed today because I'm building in the open area where you can build whatever the fuck you want. It's large. They give you a really large play space. I finally moved the Pokemon Center to where I wanted it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, that's a good first step. It's been weeks that I've been putting it off because I just... my brain as a creative, I'm like, it just needs to work. It just needs to work.
Yep.
I just want it to look good. And my brain can't comprehend that. Just do things slowly. And I've said this before. I want to do small parts at a time. But the game it's so fun just hanging out with Pokemon and finding them. Anyways, I just wanted to add that to the earlier conversation about games we've played. I forgot to add Jack 3 and Pokepedia.
No, and like, I think... I mean, Jack 3, I get. Like, that's... It's why, like, you're getting such a kick out of something like Mouse P.I. Because it is just... Here's a simple game. You know exactly what you're doing. You know exactly where you're going. It's not trying to give you more than what the intended design is.
Mm-hmm.
I look at the opposite spectrum where I look at Crimson Desert and I go, this is too much. But I appreciate the effort that you guys have put into making this as much of a premium product as you possibly can. Because I feel like these bigger studios who should be offering this level of tech and development don't anymore. Or don't have the capabilities. Or sit there and just try and over-focus on, well, it's got to be like fully animated and have all these fancy... And it's this game that does that as well, but it does it in droves. And still offers all of this just life and texture to the world. Obviously, easier fucking said than done, but, you know. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. It really is just fucking hard. I feel bad for these developers who are trying, even from the AAA space, and they're trying to compete with smaller developers who can quickly iterate, come up with ideas, put out, get the artwork in there, get it all kind of semi-working, and it's fine, sell it. Whereas at the bigger high end, it's like, well, we need to make it feel premium, so they feel like they need to justify the costs and the development and everything else because, well, we are showcasing the best of the tech that we're putting it on. And that in itself would be fucking intimidating. And if they don't, and they probably have people higher up that are sitting there going, yeah, but why aren't you making that live service style game? Why aren't you making that type of game that we know is popular in the industry? Why haven't you got these features? Why haven't you got that? And it's like, well, as Jason and I were discussing, you can't have an every game. It doesn't work. There's no such thing as a game that fulfills every single fucking niche and every single type of design. Because it's just impossible. You can't be playing a stealth game while also playing a strategy game, while also playing an adventure game, and then a romance novel while also... It doesn't work. It becomes a jumbled mess, And at the end of the day, people are going to fall into the category that they enjoy the most. So that's why we have these very specific niche games. You just need to budget yourself accordingly for the fan base that you are releasing it to.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's hard because how do you get
Absolutely,
a
it's fucking hard.
market interested?
Yep.
Like, I look at Dragon Ball Kakarot,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a few months ago that they announced that they sold that game 10 million units sold. A game that I thought had no one interested in. 10 million is huge.
Mm-hmm.
And that you're playing an RPG Dragon Ball game. But then you've got their other titles that are just fighters and they just don't get near enough. And it's so interesting because how do you then go, well, this series is primarily about fighting. How do we grab a consumer and it's all about you want to grab as many people as you can. Mouse P.I isn't for everyone. If you
No.
enjoy Doom, you'll love it. You enjoy BioShock, you'll love it.
If you enjoy
If you're
this art style as well, then you'll love it.
100%. But if you're someone who plays Final Fantasy, CRPGs like Baldur's Gate, it's probably not going to be your style.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right, it is niche. But I think that's what we need more of.
Yeah.
Where there is something that is niche in the market so that it does grab the attention because it's not something that's so fatiguing to look at. It's something that you can go onto your console store or Steam and it's there and you're like, what the fuck is this? This is different. Wow, that worked. You've talked about it. We've done our job. You didn't buy the game, but you might later. You're probably thinking about it. You'll add it to your wish list. You'll follow if there's updates or and maybe there's a sequel. Maybe there's an announcement saying that they sold X amount and there's a letter from the dev saying we want to thank for all the support that you've provided us. So here's a nice little update for the game to show your support to us so we support you back. Hey, okay, this game might be worth playing because it's done really well. I can say that has worked on me when Claire Obscure had the devs put out patches, put out a photo mode and put out extra content, fucking added a whole new area to the game because, hey, you loved it so much. We want to support you because you've supported us throughout the release. So here's something. It's not for everyone, but
No.
it's niche. It's something that you don't see and it grabs the attention of the consumers, even though if they don't buy the game straight away, it is something that you talk about. And I'll say this again. Word of mouth is the most powerful marketing tool you will ever think of. And I hope that the word of mouth of me talking about Mouse P.I for hire has been convincing enough for people to buy it because it is such a good, fun game. And it's a niche game.
Yeah.
It's just a game. It's a video game through and through. And I love that there is studios out there, and even Planet of Lana. It's a video game through and through. The attention to detail, to the story. You've got games like, let's see, what games do I have installed? Vampire Survivors, fucking a game that's $8. And I have got every achievement apart from the latest DLC that I haven't even delved into. And I have spent 170.5 hours playing for $8. And you were talking about, is a game worth your money? If I spend a single digit dollar amount and I'm playing for 170 hours,
Yeah.
fucking A.
Yeah.
But again, it's a niche game. It's not for everyone. It's a horde battler game that you will have to die a few times. You persist. Now, when I play the game, I'm just like, yeah, I like being God. This is fun. I love the power trip. It feels nice that I can kill death at the end of the game. It's satisfying to.
What is the trick with
that.
that? Because I've never gotten that far into the game. Is there a specific trick, or do you just have the ability to do that?
So it's been a while.
Yeah.
But to kill death, there is a point in the game where you unlock special passives. So you get 2 rings and you get 2 pieces of a sword that once you maximize their abilities, you get more enemies, you get a wider AoE. No, it's not those. That's what activates them. You get a shield and a ring that freezes. But there's alternative weapons that you eventually get that do the same thing, but in a different way.
Okay.
And they're through DLC. But you can freeze death. And once you have so many... So your limit is 6 weapons and 6 passives.
Uh-huh.
I'm at the point where I can have all the weapons and all the passives. So I'm demolishing. And I can have them all upgraded. So I've fused my weapons with the corresponding passives so they're at their ultimate form. And once you get to that point in the story, death just becomes a joke. You kill him. But you can't kill White Death. He's the one that's like, okay, you've finished the level. Like you're done. You've achieved it.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. Congrats. Pat on the back. Good.
Yeah.
No, because I remember hearing one of the podcasts I listened to. He was talking about this, like an alternate way where you essentially go around, you kill a bunch of enemies. You leave all the XP, so you don't fucking touch anything, because apparently Death's strength is linked to your level up. And the idea was that you'd activate a specific item that would instantly grab. So when Death was about to come, you'd use the specific item to grab all of the XP that was available on the floor. So you'd quickly level up after Death had been activated, and you just demolish him.
That sounds very early game. But
there is proper.
Death is meant to be someone that you don't kill until you have unlocked a lot more characters, a lot more of the achievements to get their weapons, so you can have them in your library and the passives. But that technique sounds very much early game. Once you get to mid to late game, you're treating Death as a toy. He becomes a joke.
Yeah.
Even the bosses. Because once you unlock a character, you then get an attached achievement collectible that then unlocks their weapon in the choices you have when you unlock a weapon. So, for example, you've got the Ode to Castlevania, which is one of the best DLCs. You play as the Belmonts, so you've got all of them in there.
Mm-hmm.
Once I've unlocked Richer, there's a challenge where I have to survive 20 minutes with Richer to unlock his ability.
Yeah.
I achieve that. Then the other Belmonts, same thing. Sometimes it's survive 10 minutes in this level with this character to unlock their ability. Which is crazy that I've got all of them.
Which is crazy
That's
that I've got all
crazy.
of-
Fucking hell. And I haven't even finished the Castlevania DLC because once you finish it, the game's like, oh, here's another 50 more things to do. And it's like, are you kidding me? You're giving me more? Okay. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, they've gone nuts with the content.
To me, full price is $8 for the base game. Well worth it. Well worth it. And if you ever want, I can always help you in co-op. But yeah, that game is another very niche game, but a very, very fun game. It's not for everyone, but it's grabbed the attention because you've got really popular IPs. I know it's not as popular as it was back in COVID days, but Among Us is in there. You've got a Castlevania DLC. You have Metal Slug. It grabs your attention because you look at a game and go, oh wow, this has a lot of collaborations. I'm going to keep an eye. It's a great entry point for $8. That's nice. So I think having indie games that do grab the attention is really important, because when Mouse P.I was announced, it was up against so many premium games that was the main takeaway. A rubber hose video game against, I think it was Marathon. Fuck. Because it was the Game Awards, I think it was up against.
It's the reason why I'm still sold, and I hope it comes out one day. I really do. I have my fingers crossed that the little developer gets it out of the finish line. But what was it called? Little Devil Inside? Is that what it was called? Fucking hell.
Devil Inside.
I think it was Little Devil Inside, yeah.
Little Devil Inside Us? Roots of Evil?
No, just Little Devil Inside.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
I look at the way this game looks and I go, this is just so unique, and I want this to be real. I want them to actually bring this fucking game out. And it sucks that they have been struggling as a developer to bring this out when people should be like running to them going, here's money, finish it, because we feel like there's something unique about it. Because the problem is, so I mean, we've had this discussion that so many games just feel the same.
Mhm.
And we are so no, it's not so much jaded. The exposure is so high that nothing feels unique anymore. Nothing feels novel. We all can see the boxes. We can all see the yellow paint. This is why when a game like Crimson Desert comes out that just challenges the status quo on so many different levels, it just shakes the ground and the foundation for what gaming could be. And
Yep.
is it perfect in every way? No. But that's why the developers are working their asses off to make it as good as it could potentially be. They want to make it the best version of the game that they're making. Yeah. Man, I want this game to come out so badly. And even I can acknowledge what I've seen of it. It's not like it looks amazing. This isn't the high level fidelity. This isn't the high level of gameplay mechanics, but provided they can get all the fundamental bits together, I still feel like it'll be a fucking fun game. I mean, look at
Mhm.
Peter Molyneux's fucking, what is that called? Masters of Albion.
Yep.
Another example of a game that you can pull it apart and go, there's so much. Oh, it's coming early access. This game is coming out into early access. Like, they're not even bringing it out as a full release.
This comes out
So,
in less than a week.
yeah.
Whoa.
But I just, this is what we need. It's what this industry has needed for quite some time. We got too comfortable with the high fidelity, high octane games and a lot of the multiplayer stuff that has been successful, that's been making money, that, yeah, has been pulling in investors because they've seen this huge return. I mean, I laughed at the fact that when Take-Two had announced Rockstar was making like $1.2 million a day or something ludicrous on their game. And all the investors out there went, well, we want a piece of that pie. So all of a sudden the share prices for Take-Two went up. I'm like, are you guys for fucking real? You've known this for so long. Why are you suddenly jumping on the bandwagon now? Morons.
It's funny how that
Short-sighted.
effect went around. I guess the hackers had a different interpretation of how that was going to go down. And it's like, no, it's made us more successful, so thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Thank you. Thank you very much. We won't give you any money. Because, yeah, that's what it was. It was the hacker that released the information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well done. Good job. Jeez.
It's... And that's what I hope Fable does. Where it plays with the mechanics of what the originals did with the good and bad, or sorry, the good and evil.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't good and evil. It was hero and evil.
Yeah.
Mechanics, but just modernizing it to today and having that particular look of, it almost reminds me of what The Witcher did. The Witcher 3. Which I tried so hard playing, but I just can't get past it. I just can't.
Can I ask what it
just...
is that you get stuck on?
It's not that I get
Mentally.
stuck. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, no, you're right. What I get stuck on mentally, because it's not the game. So I have killed that hippogriff or griffin at least 13 times. That's the amount of times I've tried playing that game. The amount of times I've met up with Yennefer, I don't know. It's just, I think I get bored because I picture that Geralt is just this really strong witcher, but the game doesn't make me feel like I am. And it
Strong?
does. Yeah.
Do you feel weak?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm, and I know it's one of those RPG things where, you need to build Geralt up and add skills and all this. And it's like, but it's a third game. Why is he starting from scratch again? Why can't I just play The Witcher 3
Yeah.
as like
Yeah,
strong
that's
and
I know. It's
fun?
it's yeah. That's always going to be an issue when you're dealing with a third iteration of any game. It suffers, unfortunately, from that style of, yeah, okay, you start from the very beginning again and you build yourself up. Uh, you just gotta kind of go with the gamification. I will say, you are right. The early bit of the game does make you feel weak. That
Mhm.
is very much how I think most people experience it. It feels tough at the start. Once you get going, though, so you do kind of want to get into, because the tutorial is just, it's a tutorial. Once you get into
Yeah.
the main game and you suddenly have the freedom of which direction you want to go, and you start to do some of the different quests and you get into the story arcs, whether it's the main story or whether it's the little stories that exist, you will get a better sense of what the game wants. And what's fun is when you do start uncovering your potions, you do start uncovering other new weapons and swords, and you can start building your character kind of to the way that you want to play, whether you want to play more with magic or whether you want to play more with melee. I will say the game favors more melee than it does magic, but magic is also very useful. Like having the shield is a great spell. It's a wonderful spell. It's actually required for your harder difficulties. But then you can get into, your other types of spellcraft, whether it's, the Ard, which is the force push, or whether you want Igni, the fire spell,
Mhm.
playing with the mind spell and using, like, leveling that up to max where you can start having enemies turn against themselves. So you have like an extra NPC working for you. It's fun. And then what's really cool is when you get into the potion crafting aspect and you go, okay, so I'm about to do a fight. What am I fighting? All right, do I have any information? Let's just look at the little, the dossier or the description on what this monster is. Cool, it's weak against this, so if I use a silver sword and I put on this type of oil, I'll be able to do damage to it, or like extra damage. And you watch their health just fucking plow. It's satisfying when you get into the groove of the game and how it wants to be played.
Hmm.
It's very
Because
it's
I've got
very rewarding.
into what's his name? Siri's dad. He wants me to find her, but we all know that. Fuck, not the Lich King.
The Butcher? No, not the Butcher. Fuck. The Baron.
I was gonna. Yeah, so I've spoken with the Baron and he's given me a quest to find Ciri.
Oh, yeah,
And
so it's
I've
not.
left the castle.
Yeah, okay. So that's not. Oh, that no, you're talking about Amir,
Yes.
the old guy on the throne, who's voiced by fucking what's his name from Game of Thrones.
But it's Ciri's dad. He's...
Yes, yeah, the one in the black when
Yep,
you're in
yep.
Nilfgaard. In Nilfgaard.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Okay.
So I'm there.
Okay.
And that's usually where I stop.
Yep.
So I should probably continue.
If
Because
you
that's
can,
the point.
yeah, if you can at least push through till when you get into that first open world, I think you will get a better grasp and you'll have a better appreciation of the game, because that's when some of the fairy tale shit starts and the cool quests start popping up. That's the thing. You got to remember that The Witcher, and you of all people will connect with this because you love fairy tales and you love these classic fairy tales that get twisted on their head. And The Witcher, if you've ever read the first book, is literally that. It is, here's Beauty and the Beast told on its head. Here's the story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, but it's fucking twisted as all hell. Here's, what else was there in the first book? Jesus. Oh, there was like one or two more that were like fairy tale related. But
Rapunzel?
they're all... no. There's one there that's... I don't... It's not necessarily the Ugly Duckling, but it is... It's actually the original story that introduces Amir and how Amir even was able to kind of get the throne or like the association with Ciri and whatnot. It's... Yeah, there's a little bit of history there, but not that it really matters for the purpose of the game for the most part. But when you get into the game, you will quickly realize just how much of that fairy tale storytelling is actually infused in some of the missions you do. So when you, for instance, meet the Baron for the first time and you're helping him find his wife and daughter, or I think it's not even the daughter, it's his wife. There's like this whole dark fairy tale fantasy linked through that. There's stuff with werewolves, there's stuff with vampires, there's, stuff with trolls that you're helping them out, dealing with certain things. It's just, you're walking through a Grimm Brothers tale throughout the whole journey.
Ooh.
Subtle, but it's there. And then you get the main mission, which is this, and this is the unfortunate thing, is you are also missing the context from the first two games to build the emotional connection to the what are they called? Main enemy of Witcher 3. The Wild Hunt. You're missing, you miss some of the context with them, but well, not even just more of a connective tissue, because they're introduced in the first game. There's some mention of them in the second, and it's the third game that suddenly they become the big thing, because now it's like, okay, Geralt's got his memory back. He knows exactly who he is. He knows he needs to find his daughter and her relevance to his greater arc, which was always kind of the point of the original stories anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're on this epic quest, against time, to figure out why they're trying to chase Ciri, what they want from her. and also like kind of save the world type of deal. So it is a really cool story. And then if you've got the DLC, one of the DLCs is about he's not a djinn. He's like the equivalent of Rumpelstiltskin. But so much in that he's essentially he's essentially the devil, but he's making promise, like he's granting people wishes provided he can then get something from them. So it's this, there's some really fucking cool quests in there. And then you get all the choice and consequences as well on top of that. It's just, I think you'll love it more than you give it credit. And I know that first bit is a little bit of this is a bit slow and it's a slog. It is, because everything you're doing there is just a setup for, this is how you play the game. This is how the quests are kind of structured. And here's kind of the main mission where, all right, you're just learning about who Geralt is, learning a little bit about the fact that he's chasing down Yennefer, he wants to find her, blah, blah, blah. So, and the Griffin is like your only small little tie to, all right, there's a fairy tale aspect, and then you got the ghosts, which is the supernatural aspect. Cool. I'm assuming you've done everything in that area, because it's probably worth doing.
Yes.
Cool. Take advantage of finding the stone, what are they called? The places of power, because they do actually give you a level up, like a free level up. So it's always worth looking for them and getting all of them. But yeah, that
places
first
of power?
Yeah, they're the stones that give you the specific magic alignment for like an X amount of time.
Yeah.
You'll hear, like, when you're near one, he says, I sense I'm near a place of power. And you go up to it, and it'll either enhance his fire ability, mind ability, shield, whatever it is that it's associated with. And it lasts for like an hour of gameplay. But each one you find also gives you a skill point.
Right.
So they're a good way to level up your character that way. But yeah, like I said, that first bit is a bit of you're just doing random stuff. It's not until you get into the game and you start dealing with some of the quests, optional as well as, the main one, that you kind of go, oh, there's actually some magic here, and there's some cool fairy tale stuff, and there's all this mystery, and you will enjoy it more than you give it credit.
Okay.
Yeah. You need to be a little bit patient, and if you are patient, by the time you get to the third DLC, which is what everyone fucking loves, Toussaint, it's not my favorite, but I can see why people love it. That's your fairy tale land through and through. Like, you can literally get Excalibur in it.
Oh.
Yeah. There is a quest linked to being a chivalrous knight, and there are choices you make in that DLC that will determine the likelihood of you being able to get that sword out of this pond, out of this, like, frozen lake.
Okay, that's fucking interesting.
It's really cool. Man, I don't want to say anymore because there's some stuff in there. It's like Mass Effect, man. Like, I could chew your ear off, but if you just experience it, and then we talk about it, and then we just reflect on the things that you pulled out of, the things that you liked, or the things that I really, like, kind of pulled out of it. There's like a haunted mansion sequence that was just so well done, that's almost on the level of what you've experienced with Clair Obscur. where you just go, I am going through someone's mental anguish right now in order to uncover parts of the past so I can figure out what the fuck is going on and how it relates to this grand quest that I'm on.
Shit.
And then you got the fucking card game in it, which is as simple as it is. It's actually fucking cool. And collecting all the cards is like, oh, this is half the fun. Where can I get them all? Can I find them all? Ugh. And that has its own mission associated with it as well, which, yeah, if you choose to do that quest, that's kind of neat. So, yeah. Worth it when you get the time, because you've probably already got enough on your plate. But, yeah, I would say that you will enjoy it more than what you think.
Okay. So just keep going with the
Push
with where I'm
through.
at, because
I would
this
say
is where the game opens.
Okay, so I would say do. All right, let me pull up the map. Hold on. I'm just gonna cover this because I don't know how. Velen and Novigrad, because I don't want all the fucking bullshit markers and crap. Hydol, here we go. Desktop. All right, so I'm just trying to remember. Dream app. Interactive. All right, so yes, we've done Hydol. So yeah, you can see that's the introduction. So that's White Orchard. Very small, nothing too major. There's the, where is it? You've got the ghost there. You've got some bandit camps here littered around. You've got like a couple of like the ghouls and stuff that you find around here. You've got one of the quests with the ghost that's haunting the dead girl that died. I think that's one of the most interesting quests in this whole fucking region. And then of course everything related with this camp with the fucking the griffin that you end up fighting, I think somewhere here in the farmland, and it kind of flies across into the mill. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You get then the actual main game, which is substantially huge. So you've got all of this.
You go back to that area, or is that locked out once you leave?
No, you can go back.
Okay.
You can go back and forth. So if there's stuff still there that you want to find, you can go back, which is nice and easy. But when you start, you will start kind of around here, I think. There's like a specific area that when you kind of arrive, that's near this border. And what the game is technically trying to incentivize you to do is do this bottom half first and then make your way up north. And then a lot of this top section here is part of the DLC. And then you got another map, which is the last DLC that you get, which I won't show you because that you can experience. But if you find that after you've, say, done the stuff for the Baron, which takes place here, and then maybe some of the corresponding quests associated around here, and you feel that that's not fulfilling your kind of fairy tale-esque needs, all right, put the game down. But I reckon just on a lot of the quests that you find in this bottom region, as a starting point will probably pull you in. There's enough variety just here to really sink your teeth into. And then when you get into some of the cities, which you can unlock from the beginning if you want, you can head into that direction. You might be a little bit underleveled, but you can give it a go. You can see what's available. There's some really fun quests that you start getting in the cities. And then you go through the cities and you're dealing with all the shitty politics there, which is a whole nother kettle of fish. But this is where you start developing your like fairy tale stuff.
Okay. So when you're in Niflheim, that's not in the large map yet?
No, not Novigrad. What? No, so that is you're just speaking to Mimir the king in his region, and he's just giving you the quest. So once you're done with him, the only thing you need to do there, should you choose to, is play Gwent with one of the guys that's in his like courtyard to get one card. That's it. Otherwise, you have no reason to be there. It's a very small map. Like that's... Where is it? Do I have... Where's the actual map? Go back. Camoran, Skelly. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even have a proper associated map. This is your first proper map. And it's, you can see it's substantially large.
Jesus.
With caves and castles and like there's like a castle here that you'll go through underwater because the moat's closed. You can't just jump across. So you have to jump into the water, find an underwater cave in order to get through and up the top. And then bring down the drawbridge while you're dealing with one of the little bosses that are there.
Oh, that's cool.
There is a whole story quest associated with this island here from like one of the villagers here that you need to help him deal with a spirit that's like it's leached itself into this area. And so you're helping him solve that, and there's a specific way of solving it depending on how you want it to play out. So again, it's kind of got the shades of gray, the good, the bad, the ugly, the sad. There's a lot. There's so much. And then there's all this crazy shit in between. There's some weird stuff that happens as well. There's some really dark, eerie fucking stuff. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I think you will actually enjoy it. You just need to get a little bit, you need to sink your teeth into the game a bit more. And once you do, and you get a little bit more comfortable with the mechanics, because you kind of go, okay, now I know how to play with the oils. Like I'm actually going off and I'm finding some of the ingredients I need so I can unlock and level up, the best oils, the best potions, all of that, so I can just get straight into battle, put the oil on my weapon, pop a potion if I need to, strengthen myself a little bit more, or give myself an advantage, or see in dark spaces, which most of the time you don't need to, but you can. You have all of those tools, and it's just about how you choose to use them on top of the regular combat, which I think it is very clunky for what we're used to now, but if you get your head around it, it's a serviceable combat system. And it's pretty easy. It's very lenient, I will say, for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah. Once you level up a bit and you strengthen yourself and you gear yourself up and get better armor, better gear, build better stuff, because of course you've got the building. As you find, you have quests associated with the different types of armor sets based on the school. So you have like the wolf armor, the cat armor, the bear armor, the snake armor, whatever it's called, and each of them have their strengths and weaknesses depending on your playstyle. One would be better suited for like more armor, so like you have better defense, but you're going to be a bit slower. Another one's better if you like to be quicker, so you want to be more mobile, you want to be more agile. Another one will be more will empower your magic, so you'll be better at magic with it. And then you got all the other armors in between that you can then customize. And then there's like runes that you can put on top to, mid-max them. And then you've got runes that you can put on your weapons. And of course, you've got the two types of weapons. So you'll be fighting in battle and you'll be like, okay, well, I'm fighting humans. I'm just going to pull out my regular sword. I'm fighting, monsters or vampires. Cool. I pull out my other sword. Off I go.
Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I've replayed this game twice. Now, the second time when you do it and you've already experienced it, it's a bit of a slog because there's a lot. There's so, like, they fill the fucking map with icons. But a lot of it is story related stuff, or it's like there's a lot of optional shit that's there. The one thing I'd probably say, if you don't want to be like super anal, the only thing that most people would tell you to avoid, so this is a Skellig Isles. Avoid all these fucking smugglers' chests. This is the only thing that the game does fall apart. When you get to this, like the missions in this area are fucking cool. But it's the traveling on the little kayak that just feels boring because there's nothing in between. You're on this little sailboat. When you pass enemies, you shoot them with your crossbow. It's not interesting. All the interesting stuff happens when you're on land, when you're traveling, when you're meeting people, when you're helping solve quests.
Okay.
What I will say is all the gear that you collect helps in either deconstructing for crafting materials or purely just selling it as junk so that you can then level up whatever you need. On top of the fact that when you do get to Toussaint and you start exploring it's, in my opinion, it's probably the weakest mechanic, but they introduce hey, we're giving you your own base of operations and you can level it up and you can put your armor here and you can put your choice of paintings and this and that. It's like, it's very cute. It's very nice. You spend a lot of your gold up until that point on it. For me, it was shallow, but I did appreciate, say, putting up my favorite weapons or armor on the specific mantle pieces. So that was kind of cool. But other than that,
Is there any benefit to having the base of operations?
Not really. It's just a place that in that DLC, it's just another place that you can go, all right, well, I can sleep here, meditate, have all my gear here, as well as like crafting table and everything, just all in one location. That's all.
Right. Okay.
Other than that, it's just more for it's a cosmetic thing. And look, it makes you feel like this is where he's settling down. That's really all it comes down to from a story perspective.
Okay.
But yeah. You'll get to this when you're ready. But just remember, you want to go through, even if you play from where you are. If you want to go through that slog of the introduction, go for it. Go nuts. But I beg of you, just push through and play a little bit more of the game. Do some more of the main quests. Do the I think it's the Red Baron or the Bloody Baron. I think it's the Bloody Baron. So venture down into that region and then do what other little quests you find along the way. Because as you start to do a few more and you start helping people and you start meeting all the different characters and getting to grips with the world and the kind of fantasy of everything, you go, okay, now I see what's here. And even this, like, the sense of exploration, StreetRat, it's I'm telling you, it's Tomb Raider levels. There's some stuff in there. There's I forgot her name. There's a blonde character you meet in this region that you'll do a few quests for her, and you'll be like, wait, what are we doing? Where are we going? We're solving what now? It's fun. And then you'll see why people praise it and go, "Oh my god, it's such a good game. Why, why did we only get Cyberpunk the way it was?" And it's like, well, the two different fucking genres and two different types of games, different focuses.
Yeah, very different games.
But yeah.
Right.
Anyway.
Okay.
StreetRat, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, and Blue Sky at StreetRat_Atlas. I have a Discord server where I didn't this week, but I usually post my stream schedule depending on my work times. But I stream consistently on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Wednesday, I'm streaming Mass Effect and going through that. I think I'm going to be adding Fridays to the Streamly week because of Mouse P.I. But I'll definitely be streaming that again. And then Saturdays at 7:30 to play more Baldur's Gate and podcasting. Where can we find you, Jake?
Oh, you can find me on my channel on Twitch and on YouTube at Jake_Starvik. I will be continuing Crimson Desert on Wednesday at 7:30, and we will be doing Baldur's Gate on Saturdays at 7:30, Melbourne Eastern Standard Time. So that's PM, by the way. Yes, so you can watch us there on our corresponding shows. Like and subscribe as usual if you like what you hear or what you see. Give us feedback. Tell us what you think, what you'd like to see more of. Yeah, that's about it. Otherwise, stay safe, have a wonderful time, and you shall see us next time on the show. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.